It's the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills.
A beautiful day in western New York State. Perfect playing conditions for this meeting between the Jets and the Bills. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Criqui at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. There is great optimism on this Buffalo Bill team right now. They feel that upset win over the Los Angeles Rams on Monday night may be the impetus to send them on to New Orleans in Super Bowl 24 in January. The Jets are 1-5, but they're not that far out of it. I'm joined by Ahmad Rashad, a great player here in Buffalo before he went on to the Vikings. And Ahmad, the Jets were the winner back in the race.
They really are. You know, the Bills should be optimistic, but what they got to look at, this AFC East is so close because Buffalo at 4-2, the Jets at 1-5. If the Jets can win here today, they're only 2 games out of first place. So the Bills cannot let down. This is a big win for them, a big game for them.
Very big. The Bills' #1 offensive player, quarterback Jim Kelly, is still out with a separated shoulder. But in his stead, Monday night stepped in Frank Reich, number 14. He was shaky at the start, but he was great when it was on the line, and he brought the Bills to victory.
I think the key that you want to have from a backup quarterback is he doesn't throw the ball away, and that's what Frank Reich did so well last week. Even though he struggled in the first half, he didn't give that big turnover. Everybody's confident now. He's got that big win under his belt. Today, he's got to do more of the same that he did last Monday.
The Jets' problems are illustrated by Coach Joe Walton's assessment. He said our defense is our offense. The Jets' defense over the last 3 games has outscored the offense 21-10, so they got to make some points up.
Anytime that one of your leading scorers is a defensive back by the name of Eric McMillan, your offense is in trouble. Their offense has not been able to come up with a big play. You can diagram all the plays you want to, but you got to come up with a big play.
Well, McMillan has 2 touchdowns already this season. He had 2 last year as a rookie. And it's going to be the Jet defense that has to hold down the Buffalo scoring. They put up points against the Rams when they had to.
I talked to Eric McMillan and said, what is your big problem this week? He said, Andre Reed. I watch him on film. He is like a man playing with boys. So the challenge today will be if Eric McMillan and company can stop Andre Reed.
Joe Walton counseling quarterback Ken O'Brien. You'll remember last week in New Orleans, he had O'Brien on the bench. Kyle Mackey went in there. It did not work out, and O'Brien came back in the 3rd quarter. The big problem for Walton's offense has been the interceptions. Last year, Ken O'Brien threw 7 interceptions all season. Already this year, through 6 games, he's thrown 9. Marv Levy's Buffalo Bills stand 4-2 and a game up in the AFC East. Under Levy a season ago, they were 12-4 and divisional winners here in the AFC East. Came within 1 game of going to the Super Bowl. They were beaten in the championship game in the conference by the Cincinnati Bengals. It was rainy, cold, and windy here yesterday, but the front has blown through, and it's perfect weather, although wind could be a factor. As the Hawks starting to sweep on down from Canada in October. Ready to kick it off for the Buffalo Bills is Norwood. And ready to run it back are Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsell for the Jets. This is the 59th meeting of these 2 former American Football League teams. They're even at 28-28. 57th meeting. Here's the kickoff downfield to Townsell, and he is to about the 20-yard line where he's swept under by the Bills special teams. There was concern among the Buffalo coaches. That's Mark Pike, number 94, who led the tacklers, that they couldn't set the emotional high again after that big win over the Rams, but they seem high at the outset. Criswell, the left tackle for the Jets, has a big job. He goes against All-Pro Bruce Smith, who ate him alive last year at Giant Stadium. Roger Vick has given the Jets nothing at fullback the last 3 games. He'll be going out on passing downs. Johnny Hector will be coming in. Chris Burkett, a former Buffalo Bill, starting at wide receiver for the Jets. Handoff. And Freeman McNeil, a player the Jets defenders fear greatly, runs into the left side of the Bill defense. The big Freddie Smerlas knocks him down, and a 1st-and-10 carry, good for 3. Art Still in the league 12 years. Smerlas, a 12-year veteran. Bruce Smith, the consensus All-Pro at right end. The linebackers, Cornelius Bennett, was a first-team All-Pro in his first full season with Buffalo a season ago. Radisick and Bentley will come out when they go to their pass defense, the dime defense. Davis and Sutton come in. Darryl Talley, the outside linebacker at the right side, grades out as the Bills' #1 defensive player this year. Undersung player from West Virginia. 2nd down and 6. Hector looking for a place to go, and there's not much there. Bruce Smith came across, number 78. He's got his weight way down. Played at 290 as a rookie. Now 265 and really running.
Bruce Smith told me yesterday, he said, you know what, I got to get going, man. I'm supposed to be up in the top in sacks. Here you see Bruce Smith just firing out, and watch him run down Johnny Hector from the backside. Here you go. You see another shot of him. Bruce Smith, you've got to double team this guy. He is one of the premier defensive ends in professional football.
Fast as any linebacker out there except for Cornelius Bennett. O'Brien on 3rd and 8. Downfield throw, and in the wind it takes off. Overthrows JoJo Townsell. So it's 3 downs and out for the Jets offense on their opening sequence. And they'll punt the ball. Prokop will be kicking it. He'll be kicking into a swirling wind. You know these winds well, Ahmad, having played here. They can really play tricks.
And it changes quarter to quarter. The wind never blows the same way the entire game. Sometimes it comes across the field. A lot of times, if you look at the flags on top of the goalposts, and both ends are blowing different directions.
The winds are tougher on punt returners than anybody, and Mickey Sutton is back now for the Bills. He bobbled one, you may recall, against the Rams that led to a Los Angeles touchdown. Short kick into the wind. The wind absolutely stops the ball, and the Bills will get their opening possession on the Jets side of the field. Prokop hit it well, but he caught one of those swirling winds, and the ball stopped dead about 30 yards off his foot. And there's the Old Glory just about out straight. Flags around the NFL at half-mast in respect and in memory of the victims of the Northern California earthquake.
Field position so important, Don. That really has a lot to do with the kind of plays that you can call. And the Jets last week, they averaged their field position. They start on the 18-yard line almost every time they got the ball. Here, Buffalo starts out on the 40.
That punt was only 17 yards. Here is Thurman Thomas, a terrific back, running the ball down to the 35-yard line. He has been a standout for the Bills in his first 2 years from Oklahoma State. Huge offensive tackles. Wolford's over 300. They stopped weighing Howard Ballard when he hit 330. Reich at quarterback, his confidence level way up because he delivered in a very big game before a national television audience, before 80,000 in the sold-out stadium against an unbeaten team. In his first start, he was a winner. 2nd down now coming up. Hand off to Thomas in a fine defensive play by Kerry Glenn as he shoots the gap. Defensive back playing the run and makes the hit. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and about 7.
A loss of 1. It's 3rd and 6.
Secondary for the Jets. Hasty at right corner has 3 interceptions. Eric McMillan has 4 already. And they go to the dime defense. There'll be some changes. Lots of people come out. Jets will be switching defenders a great deal. Dennis Byrd, a rookie, is coming out as a pass rusher. John Booty's back. He's been out for an extended period with a neck injury. All right. Looks it down. He's got a man. Andre Reed. And Reed is ahead for a 1st down. Hit hard by McMillan, but Andre Reed is down to the 45-yard line. A gain on the play of 10 yards and a 1st down for the Bills. Andre Reed has over half the receptions of this Buffalo team this year. That was his 44th of the season.
This is just a play where they line Andre Reed out to the right side and let him sprint underneath the defense. And talking to Mike Faulkner, the defensive back coach for the Jets, he said the trick to Andre Reed is to try to contain him. You don't want to get up in his face because he'll beat you deep. He said, we'll let him catch a lot of passes all day underneath. We just don't want him to kill us on the big one.
He can do that. Andre Reed, with all those receptions, also has a good perception average. 15 yards of catch. 2nd back through, Thurman Thomas, and the Jets stick him. Troy Benson, inside backer, popped him. Little gain on a 1st down carry. There's no score in the 1st quarter.
And the pass that Andre Reed caught also is a confidence builder for Frank Reich. It's not a ball he's got to throw way down the field. You see Andre Reed was wide open on the play, so you just want to try to get some rhythm going. And talking to Ted Marchibroda, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, he said that Billy Kilmer taught him this, that a player should try to play within himself. Don't try to do things that you can't do, and that's what Frank Reich does very well.
He does not have the arm that Jim Kelly has. Tall, rangy quarterback from the University of Maryland. He was Boomer Esiason of the Bengals' roommate at Maryland for 3 years. They're best men at each other's weddings. Here's a handoff on 2nd and 9. Kyle Clifton makes the stick on Thurman Thomas.
They also have a boot shop, none?
13 of them.
13. You figured it'd be Boomer and Frank, huh? But it's Jim and Chuck's. Thurman Thomas trying to... Oh, great play by Cal Clifton, just breaking down the side of that line and making a tackle in the backfield. Cal Clifton is the Jets' leading tackler and a very unsung linebacker in the National Football League.
Sixth-year backer from TCU, Kyle Clifton. Bills, after just a 17-yard punt into the win on the Jets' first possession, started on the Jets side of the field. And now they have third down and long coming up. Wright stands in. He's taken off. He's got room to go. And Wright takes it inside the 20. He's short of a first down. Ball comes free, but he'll be ruled down. Marv Levy, the Bills coach, told his team, he said, as hard as you had to play Monday to come back and beat the Rams, just remember you had to play that hard last year to beat the Jets in overtime here.
Frank Wright looking downfield, trying to find a receiver, and does the smart thing, steps inside the pocket and realizes he's got an empty field ahead of him. One thing you learn when you play a little bit longer is that slide. So you keep running in there like that.
Now with the wind at his back is Scott Norwood, a Pro Bowl kicker. He knows these winds well. They can play tricks, though, even when they're at your back. Kid hold. Kick is on the way. And home field wind does indeed work against Scott Norwood as his kick is wide right. He played it for a swing back, but it didn't come. And so Norwood misses for only the third time this season. And the Jets will take over the ball for a second time when we come back to Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York.
She's all ours.
Time the Jets and the Bills met November 20th, and with this kick by Norwood in overtime, the Bills won the game 9-6, and also that kick secured the AFC Eastern title for the Bills. And Norwood in the gusting winds today misses his first try, and now the Jets take over a second time.
Boy, it's tough kicking in this wind. You got to play the wind.
I think the winds have come up a notch since the start of the game.
Gusting.
Straight ahead carry is out to the 23-yard line. Bills with a great season last year. They got up to an 11-1 start and had the Division I before Thanksgiving.
Again, 3, 2nd and 7.
The Jets they've got to be very successful on first down. They got to get 5-6 yards on first down just to keep that tremendous defensive pass rush off of Ken O'Brien. You see he's wearing a glove on that broken thumb. He said that the glove somehow keeps it padded a little bit, and it's tacky, it's sticky a little bit, so he can still grip the ball.
Having trouble getting room and gripping the ball is Freeman McNeil. Bills defenders, Walt Corr, the defensive coordinator, told us yesterday we have more trouble getting him than just about any back in the league because of the cutback schemes. He once had 193 yards, a career game against the Bills. Did Freeman McNeil.
Freeman McNeil would like to cut loose sometime soon. He hasn't had a lot of success so far this year.
How about Roger Vick? He has 14 yards and 17 carries over the last 3 games.
The Jets have always been in a situation where they've had to pass. They haven't been comfortable enough that they can establish that run and keep going with it. They always get to a point where they've got to come out throwing the ball.
Biggest problem they've had is in the offensive line. They've not sustained the running game, and Walton said we can't win unless we can run. Now on 3rd and long, O'Brien fires it out too high for Mickey Schumer, who's playing with a cracked bone in his hand. And so O'Brien misfiring on consecutive possessions, and again Prokop will try to punt into this wind.
Mickey Schumer with that broken hand. I was talking to him in the locker room. He made his own little soft cast to put over that hand, and I said, Mickey, does it hurt? I mean, does it help? He said, no, it doesn't help, but what the heck. Just put it on there anyway.
Looks good, huh?
That's right.
Mickey Sutton back in again for the Buffalo Bills to return the punt. Prokop's first was caught in the wind and actually blown back just 17 yards, but the Bills were unable to get points. Bills set up the return. Prokop shanks it this time, and the wind hurts it all the more. He just throws his arm up in disgust. He mishit the punt, though.
When he let that ball go out of his hand, the wind blew it crooked, and he kicked the point of the ball. That's how bad that wind is out there.
That was reminiscent of Sean Landena fanning on that punt at Soldier Field against the Bears.
That's tough to do.
I tell my...
As he lets this ball go, he lets it go at an angle, then the wind blows with the point down. He kicks the edge of it, and the ball only goes 11 yards.
Now to live action to Thurman Thomas as he weaves his way into the Jet defense and gets the ball inside the 30-yard line. A first down carry, good for about 7. Thurman Thomas, a terrific back from Oklahoma State. How good was he? Well, he had Barry Sanders, last year's Heisman Trophy winner, on the bench while he was there. Thomas led the Bills in rushing as a rookie with 881. He's got 453 already this year, more impressively. He has 4.9 per carry.
The Bills thought they were in trouble when Rob Riddick went down. Of course, he is the touchdown machine. He's good close inside, but when they got Thurman Thomas, he does everything well. He's a better runner, explosive runner, and he's got that long-range capabilities.
He can go take it to the barn any play. Almost loses the handle there on a 2nd and 4. Thomas gets inside the 25-yard line, and he has a first down for the Bills at about the Jet 23. Alex Gordon, number 55, was on the stop for the Jets.
Thurman Thomas with a little pitch outside where he can either take this ball all the way outside or he can break it back inside tackle. Great block there by Killebrew. He just pounds it inside. I guess I've been in Minnesota too long talking about Killebrew. The man's name is Kennebrew.
Larry Kennebrew, he can...
A little heavier than Harmon.
Yeah, Larry's now about 260, but he can come in at that 290 area.
They told me he was 270.
He's up to 12. He had some of those buffalo wings last night. Handoff goes to Thomas, who dips to the outside. Good defensive play by the Jets. Humphrey came up from the corner, made the knockdown. Thurman Thomas was projected as a high #1 draft choice as a sophomore at Oklahoma State, but he suffered a knee injury that required surgery. He had great years as junior and senior, but a lot of people doubted whether or not he'd hold up. Bills got him in the 2nd round, and he's played like a high first-rounder.
No signs of that knee injury at all. You see him dip this ball outside. Humphrey comes in and makes a nice tackle. But it'd be hard to tell that he had some knee surgery at any time because he really has that lateral ability that only the great ones have.
Very durable, gets an awful lot of carries, right throws, and it's incomplete at the 15-yard line. On a 2nd down and 7 play. As we check the scoreboard again, Sunday number 7 of this 89 NFL season. Raiders and Eagles scoreless in the first quarter. Bengals have gone up on the Colts at Cincinnati. Dolphins continue to lead the Green Bay Packers. Next for Buffalo, the Miami Dolphins, a game behind starting today's play in the AFC East. And the Vikings, with Herschel Walker in their backfield, lead the Lions 3-0. Kansas City up on Dallas. Everybody is.
You think Herschel kicked the field goal? He can.
End zone throw. Going for the ball is Flip Johnson. Too much on it. There was contact, but an official right on the play ruled it was incidental. Dennis Byrd, a rookie from Tulsa, put the heat on Frank Wright and forced that errant throw. And now the field goal unit comes out again for the Bills. They missed on their first try.
Dennis Byrd, one of those young Turks. I talked to Wallace Chambers, the defensive line coach, and he said this guy here is a throwback. He's a tough football player, and you see him right there just dump right after he threw the ball. But you know what? This is not a gimme, Don. In any other game, any other stadium, this is a gimme field goal right here. With this win,
almost the same as the last. This one's a 38-yarder. The first was a 37, but this time Norwood getting a second chance and knowing the win when the ball gets up. Knocks it up and through. And so, with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first quarter, the Bills go on the board first and take a 3-0 lead before over 80.
Scores Plus, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
With Ahmad Rashad, this is Don Criqui back at Rich Stadium, where the Buffalo Bills, on a 38-yard field goal by Scott Norwood, have taken the lead in this game 3-0. He needs a holder, Dwight Drain, because of these gusting winds. He's got that ball on a very pronounced slant there, Ahmad. Yeah, quick shot coming up there.
Don't tell it. These kickers do some strange things with that football. But, Don, this is one of the best stadiums to come out and watch a football game. You know, the atmosphere is great. These people all dressed in blue and red, and you got great music going.
They really get into it in Buffalo. They'll lead the NFL in attendance in all probability again this year as they did a season ago. Now breaking is JoJo Townsell. He's across the 40. Townsell's not done until he takes the ball out to midfield. So on special teams, the Jets on a return get a big play from JoJo Townsell and some excellent blocking to spring him down that left channel. A run back of 40 yards. And O'Brien and the Jet offense now come out for their third try, but they'll start at midfield.
JoJo Townsell just looking to make a big play somewhere. The Jets are minus big plays, and all of a sudden they get one. Townsell finds a crack, turns on the speed right here, and then he has a chance to almost get knocked out of bounds, makes a nice little stop move, gets a couple of extra yards. And finally, the Jets have some kind of field position, something they haven't had in the last game or so.
Jet offense with only one touchdown and one field goal in the last 3 games. Play fake, nicely done by O'Brien. He's got to hurry and still comes at him. He throws it to Reggie McElroy. One thing offensive tackles don't want to see is the football, unless they're falling on it.
Reggie McElroy probably hasn't even played catch in the last 15, 20 years. And all of a sudden they throw a ball at him, shocked him.
Eligible lineman, the penalty for which is Lawson down the previous spot. Second down.
He's thinking right now, you know, after the play, you always think, shoot, I should have caught it and took off running.
Right.
Took off running, but it was too late. He's the O'Brien looking downfield trying to find somebody. Obviously, he was trying to ground this ball.
O'Brien may have thought it was a tackle eligible, but I doubt it. He's just looking to get out of jail. He had Art Still coming in on him. Second down arises now. Second down and 10 for the Bills on their 49, or for the Jets on their 49-yard line. O'Brien gets some time, starts to run out of it. They go to the screen to Roger Vick. Look at Smith running down. And Bruce Smith, unbelievable ability to get downfield, and a penalty marker comes in after the play.
What they want to do is have Bruce Smith come flying in at the quarterback and then throw a screen behind him. Except that Bruce stops and turns around and runs the ball carrier down.
Gordon McCarter's the referee, and he says,
Illegal block in the back. Number 83 offense during the play. 10-yard penalty from a dead ball spot. Repeat second down.
Townsell called for an illegal block.
Bruce Smith is so relentless. Here you see him coming on a pass rush. Gets by the tackle. Now he's putting pressure on O'Brien. He sees the play go over his head, turns around and keeps running. He jumped over Criswell a couple of times and still made the tackle.
I tell you, after they played last year at Giant Stadium in a Monday night game, Criswell was still looking for Smith. He never touched him during the whole game after it was over.
Talking to some of the linemen guys, they said they line up Smith on the weakest lineman, so if he lines up in front of you, that's what they think he did.
Here's O'Brien now. Second and long. He's on the run. He doesn't like to. He dumps it off, and he gets Mickey Schuler. A beautifully executed play. A fire drill for the Jets, but they make it work. And Schuler, despite the broken hand, makes a sideline catch, and now a marker comes in after the play. Be a personal foul there.
But on who?
Might be. Well, we'll wait and see. They're not sure yet either.
Very good play by O'Brien, scrambling around trying to find somebody open. You got to do that. The thing this offense needs is a big play. And it's on O'Brien to try to find somebody open. Great job by O'Brien. The book on him is he doesn't like to scramble, but he showed right there he can if he's forced to.
Leonard Smith might have been hitting late.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 55.
They got Cornelius Bennett.
Okay. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 82 on the offense after the play. The penalty's offset. Repeat second down.
Now that is a penalty right there. But if we can see the other end of the play, I don't know what unnecessary roughness is if you throw a ball in a guy's face. That doesn't hurt. O'Brien back, trying to find somebody down over the middle. Can't find anybody. Scrambles out here very nicely. Looking for Schuler. Fires the ball off to Schuler. Now Schuler catches the ball. Watch Leonard Smith. He's still hanging on to him. They're way out of bounds. He's still pushing him. So Mickey just said, hey, man, what are you doing? Take this ball.
They had to be offsetting him out because they put it back to the line of scrimmage. It's now 2nd and 15 again.
Well, that wasn't fair.
They only got the one call against Bennett. They go to the draw play, and the carry is out to the 50-yard line. Johnny Hector finds some room, and that'll bring up third down and about 10 for the Jets, who trail 3-0 in the first quarter. Jets and the Bills have been playing football since 1960, when the Jets were then the New York Titans of the American Football League. Their 57th meeting over the years today.
5 yards, still second down.
Hard times, and they were the Titans, Ahmad.
Criswell, you're with the Titans. I don't remember them.
Well, the guys used to get their paychecks in the locker room and run in uniform to the bank before the money dried up.
Well, now they're driven to the bank in a chauffeured limousine.
Well, O'Brien gets $1.4 million a year. Toon, who unfortunately is still out, gets $1.3 million in All-Pro receiver.
How much does Frank Sinatra make a year?
Laissez-faire with the marketable bear. You'd like to get something in return, though, and Toon's on the shelf. Here's a throw downfield to Mickey Schuler, a $900,000 a year tight end, and he's earned it. Two-time Pro Bowler. He was at the Pro Bowl last January. An 11-yard gain.
Mickey Schuler is one of those guys that you couldn't keep him out of the game unless he had a broken leg and it was broken all the way off. If you could tape it up, he'd be out there playing. He is really a throwback, a tough football player.
Hobbling down there like Long John Silver.
That's right. And he made his own cast for his hand. Bobby Reese, the trainer, told me he went through about 15 sheets of that plastic to try to make that cast.
Now a very big down comes up for the Jets, who trail the Bills 3-0. From the shotgun on 3rd and 10. O'Brien looking downfield, throws it over the middle, and looking to run before he caught the ball was Johnny Hector. So it goes as an incomplete play, and the Jets send out Joe Prokop once again to punt the ball. Guys reminiscing, some of these people have been around these franchises since the beginning. They're talking about when the Titans were the Titans, Ahmad. Larry Grantham, one of their captains, won the coin toss and elected to take the coin.
Times
said that to the referee.
Times were that bad?
Times were that bad. Titans went bankrupt, and then Sonny Werblin and his group, now joined by Leon Hess, bought the team in '63. Here's Prokop finally getting some room on his third punt. And getting it into the wind. It'll be down at about the 21-yard line, where the Bills will go on offense again. 4 minutes and 39 seconds to play in the first quarter. That was a 29-yard punt.
Well,
good.
He's getting better.
Good times and great holding.
Wind blows, clear and sunny. Back in a moment. Tremendous player for a lot of years of that. Art Still.
Great player. I remember when he first came in the league. The first day I met him, he had 2 earrings and a bald head and a long ponytail off the back.
He was the second player picked in 1978 in the entire draft. The first player picked is already retired. Who is he? Here's a throw by Reich downfield. He makes the connection to Andre Reed to the 33-yard line. It's a first down for the Bills as Reich drills it hard, and Andre Reed is right there on the break for a 12-yard gain.
Andre Reed is a workman-type wide receiver. He makes all the tough catches and the big catches. There's a great break. Cuts across field. Now watch this catch. Right in traffic. He has no fear of anything. He's a big, strong guy that really attacks the ball once it's in the air.
Boy, does he work at being good, too. He took up juggling to improve his hand-eye coordination. He runs downhill to lengthen the stride and improve his balance. Was drafted in the 4th round from Kutztown State in Pennsylvania. Thurman Thomas looking for room when he gets out of bounds, and a marker comes in after the play. Getting back to Art Still, Ahmad. He was the second player picked in the '78 draft. The first player picked that year. He has retired several years ago, but he'll probably go to the Hall of Fame, and he is.
I don't know.
The Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell.
Oh, my gosh.
Remember him?
Yeah, I certainly remember him. I remember him better than most defensive backs do.
Holding number 28 offense. 10-yard penalty from the
Put the lights out.
Repeat first down.
Big Brew, Larry Kinnebrew, called for the penalty.
You see Kinnebrew coming across in motion. He said this is a change from Cincinnati to here. He wasn't used to all that motion. But here he's trying to get out in front and get a block for Thurman Thomas. And just gets a little bit behind the guy. Illegal block.
Kinnebrew was out of football last season. He was cut by the Bengals, and nobody picked him up, and he was working construction. Hey, I want to go back. He took off 30 pounds and showed up and had a great summer camp with the Bills and made their team as a starting fullback. Right, on the run. Not done yet. Well, you're right about it. He's got to learn that slide technique.
He will.
He'll have it knocked into him, right?
That's right. You're talking about Kinnebrew. I guess that construction is what you call inspiration.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 10.
Right here trying to find. You know, the thing is he's not throwing interceptions. He has nobody to throw the ball to, so he just takes off running. It's just that as a quarterback, you got to be smart and get on that ground. without being knocked on it. Marty Lyons on the tackle.
Kennebrew, that arithmetic worked out, that $8.80 an hour versus that 8 or 10,000 a Sunday.
They tell me that they put the scale right next to his locker. He's afraid to look at it.
I believe he's a master psychologist. Here is Metzlars, the tight end, and he puts his head down and gets across the 40. Metzlars has been an undersung player for the Bills. He has excellent hands. He was a first-team Division II All-American as a basketball player at Wabash College in Indiana.
Metzlars here just coming up underneath the defense. Takes his ball. This is a good possession play by the Buffalo Bills. They got a good possession receiver in Pete Metzlars. He had his son out here at practice yesterday, and I had him over on the side counseling him on what he should ask his dad for Christmas. I told him a Corvette wouldn't have been bad.
How old's the kid?
The kid's about 11 years old.
Well, that guy's 11. He can ask you for a Corvette, too. Right ahead goes Thurman Thomas on 3rd and short. And did he get there? The mark comes in. It looks like it might be a bit short. It might bring out the chains. Jets think they stopped him. Metzlars is interesting, Ahmad. He's maybe lost a little off his fastball. Everybody loses a step. He's going to bulk up in the offseason and probably go to offensive tackle.
They used to have an offensive end here named Paul Seymour that did the same thing. Came out of college as a tight end, and as he got bigger, they just moved him in and had him play tackle. And, you know, they have that great footwork that makes them able to make that transition very well.
The punt downfield, hit high into the wind, and here's Townsell running it back. He has a channel, and then finally the Bills close in and get JoJo Townsell at the 26-yard line. Penalty markers down.
The Jets have been trying to get something from their special teams.
That wind helped them out.
And what they've been getting from their special teams is a penalty.
50-yard punt in with the wind behind him. John Kidd.
Townsell able to bring it back 18 yards.
12 men on the receiving team. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. The penalty makes it a first down.
Joe Walton wants a private conference with one of those referees, and he gets a little quick one. He doesn't like to hear what the guy said.
He was surprisingly loose, though, wasn't he? When we met with him last night, he said all you can do is keep playing hard. He said the attitude's been good, the practices are good. Our offense hasn't been executing, but I don't think he's too sanguine about this whole thing right now.
He really isn't. It's like, what can I do? You know, I can yell at these guys. I can make them practice harder. I can't do any of that stuff. They just have to go out there and play. That's all I can ask for.
It's a doubleheader day on NBC Sports. The Patriots and the 49ers are next from Stanford Stadium. As right now, the Bills on the Jet penalty get a first down. Buffalo leading 3-0, 1:26 to play in the first quarter. All right, pump faking, and finally they sweep him down. Jeff Lageman, the rookie linebacker from Virginia, number 56, the Jets' #1 draft pick, made the play. Lageman there, Ahmad, as you know, stopped talking to the media. So far, his is a short story. He's only been around for 6 games.
Right, trying to find number 84, Keith McKellar downfield. Can't find him, tries to run out, and Lageman pulls him down from the side. He's not talking to the media?
No.
Have they been asking him questions?
Not anymore.
Well,
doesn't have dead air when they ask him.
Well, maybe he just wants to concentrate on his game.
Now, he hasn't had a lot of big days, but they really think he's going to be a standout. The Jets had a good draft. There's young defenders they've picked up. Looks like they're going to be good. Downfield throw and a connection. Back up tight end Keith McKellar. On a 2nd and 16 play, makes the reception inside the 40-yard line of the Jets. Kyle Clifton covering the tight end, and Eric McMillan on the tackle, but McKellar, who doesn't get it thrown to him often, makes the reception.
Frank Reich looking for McKellar the entire time. It's the same play that they had the first time. McKellar makes a great it's a great throw by Reich. It's a 21-yard reception. First down for the Bills. Keith McKellar with only 5 receptions, but he shows you throw it to him, he can catch it.
First down, Kennebrew, both arms on the ball, and Big Brew takes it inside the 20-yard line. Kennebrew was a Georgia. To give you an idea how phenomenal, in a state track meet, he beat Herschel Walker in a 100-yard dash.
Kennebrew. Now this is power extraordinaire. Kennebrew takes the handoff, gets a wide open hole, which is dangerous on those defensive backs. As once he gets a full head of steam, you see what he can do right here. He just powers his way for a 20-yard gain. James Lofton told me that he's the only player that's bigger the closer you get to him.
Lofton's now a Bill. He'll be in there. First down and 10. Bills lead 3-0. Right back to Kennebrew. It's off the left side. Jim Richer, former Outland Trophy winner from North Carolina State at left guard, leads the blocking along with huge Will Wolford. And the first quarter runs out. Bills driving and holding to a 3-0 lead. So Buffalo wins the first 15 minutes, and we'll be back to Rich Stadium after this.
It's uncanny how this card.
The field are just expired, but the Bills are doing all right. They lead the Jets 3-0 and are driving. Marv Levy has a prize system here in Buffalo. He rewards different big plays. Marv, here's what they give for what, a sack?
Get a sack to get a sack of popcorn. Now, when I was playing, guys used to take up a collection in the locker room, and whoever got the most sacks got to take the money home.
Now they're making so much money, they get a dollar sack of popcorn.
That's right, and this is they take this home with pride is what they do.
That's right. They come in looking for it on Monday morning.
Leave it to Marv. He'll get those guys inspired.
Hey, when you can inspire professional athletes with a sack of popcorn, you're pretty good. Second down coming up now, and 6 at the 15-yard line. Bills driving. Now they're going into the wind in the second quarter. Kennebrew, big guys, keeps on trucking and takes it down to the 11-yard line. Kennebrew played at Tennessee State.
I'm still imagining. You say that Kennebrew beat Herschel Walker in a 100-yard dash?
Bruce Coslett, the offensive coordinator at Cincinnati, told me when they worked Kennebrew out the first time at Indianapolis in that big combine, he said he never saw anything like it. He weighed 260. He said his agility and speed, but he has a tendency, like a lot of big people, to get to that table and get bigger.
That's the way you get big.
And he went to 290 sometimes, and he was still fast, but he lost his agility. He had some fumble problems. When his weight's down, he's something. Bengals got tired of him going up and down and cut him. Right, hard throw. Incomplete. Well defended by the Jets at the corner of the end zone. Bobby Humphrey was on the play. John Booty also in along with Terry Glenn.
Do you think they worry about Andre Reed? Those are the 3 Jets that were covering him down there in that corner. They said, this is a guy we must stop. And I guess if you got to stop him, you put 3 people over there. Here's Andre Reed. Gets a nice release off the ball, drives inside, and then breaks it to the outside. He's got a man behind him, 1 in front of him, and 1 to the side. Somebody else must be open. And Andre almost catches the ball.
He almost did against a triple team. Now the Bills stall again. It'll be tougher for Norwood this time. Here's penalty markers. Might have taken him too much time. Now, did somebody jump?
Looks like all
fans are dead. It's a 4th and 3 play, so if it isn't offside, it'll be a first down. James Hasty's protesting, and Joe Walton, like the rest of us, is waiting to find out what happened.
I said, Joe, with all the problems you've
encroachment, defense.
That's against the defense. It's a first down.
Right in the middle of your screen.
Penalty will make it a first down.
Scott Mercereau just beats the count by half a step. But until I was talking to Joe last night, Joe, I can't believe that you still got black hair. I mean, he's had the kind of things happen to him this year that would drive anybody gray.
Got that magic elixir.
That's, you know, they've had 7 knee operations and 5 total reconstructions just this year.
They've had an inordinate number of injuries, the Jets. One thing about them, though, that bad as things have been going, they don't quit playing hard. Right now, they have to stop a first and goal of the Bills inside the 10. Kennebrew taking on tacklers, and he's not done till he gets to the 2. This is a full load. This is like the guy we saw a couple weeks ago, that Okoye from Kansas City.
It always amazes me about these big guys that they don't even bend over when they run. They just run straight up and down and dare somebody to come up there and try to stop them. Watch Kennebrew. He takes his hand off him right. And he's not even bending over. He's just pounding in there, daring one of those guys to come up and stop him. And about 8 of them do.
Down to the 3-yard line. We're at second down and goal for the Bills. 13:30 to play in the first half. Don Criqui with him out of shot at Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. 3-0 the Bills lead. They got a break on a 4th down penalty against the Jets. Here's Thurman Thomas looking for room, puts a dance on and goes in standing up.
This is one of the all-time great moves right here that Thurman Thomas put on Cal Clifton, because Cal Clifton had him dead to right, and Thomas gave him a little left, right, left, and then went right. He just froze him. Look at him. He's showing the dance there as he comes off the side.
I tell you, they love this kid. He had a heartbreaker Monday night when he fumbled late in the game, but they got the ball back and won.
Watch this move. Left, right, left. And then he comes out. He just freezes Clifton and then jogs into the end zone. And Michael Jackson can't dance any better than that.
Extra point is up and good. So the Bills, looking very sharp in the early going on their home field, have extended their lead to 10-0 with 13:17 to play in the first half, and 80,000 are up and dancing in Buffalo.
If ever.
The business call as a jelly. He'll take this ball right here, and once he gets out here, he gives it one of these little moves like that, which turns number 59 Cal Clifton's knees to jelly, therefore calling it the jelly move. Watch this. Oh, jelly.
And 6. So the first touchdown of the game is scored by Thurman Thomas. His 6th touchdown of the season. Puts it in the end zone. Kickoff into the wind will carry short. Townsell comes up on it at the 17-yard line. Goes on a return of his own and tries to turn the corner and does for the moment. That is knocked out of bounds. And here's a marker. Aggressive defensive play. That's one of the best special teams player in the league. Steve Tasker, 89, telling Townsell he didn't mean to late hit him. He's just doing his job. But Tasker's been to the Pro Bowl as a special teamer.
Whistle, foul, late hit out of bounds, 15 yards, first down.
See, there is a reason that they have them big white lines on the side of the field. You can't hit the guy once he goes outside. Joe Joe's way out of bounds, and Tasker still nails them. You know, you play them special teams a long time, and things get loose.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Townsell with a nice stiff arm there, and here he comes down the sideline. He's out of bounds, but Tasker's so intense that he just fires at him anyway.
He definitely got him over the white line. Now the Jets look to go, and they swing it out, and Freeman McNeil can't hold the ball. And a swing pass left, and it'll be second down and 10. Miami Dolphins are a team coming on. Raiders and Eagles still scoreless. Cincinnati leads on 2 Jim Breach field goals over the Colts. Marino threw for a touchdown. The Packers have just scored. Houston extending its lead to 10-0 over the Steelers, and the Vikings, maybe Herschel will be the missing link to the Super Bowl.
Herschel Walker and those Minnesota Vikings.
Pretty close with Walker in their backfield. Felt they needed a great runner. Complete the puzzle. Here is a handoff, and Ray Bentley flatters Johnny Hector. Bentley, a free agent, number 50, is the Bills' #1 tackler. And he writes children's books in his spare time. He's got one of those extra helmets on.
He looks like that guy in the Flintstones called Kazoo. Remember that guy who's coming out with the head like that?
There's his, that's his creature, Darby the dinosaur.
And Ray looks sort of like Ray the Kazoo with that helmet on
That's
top of
because he
him.
has a concussion. It's an extra lid he's got on. The free safety Mark Kelso also wears one.
I had one on earlier today.
You're going to have a shot of that. Nate Odom, the rising star at cornerback for the Bills. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 12, and O'Brien is not close. And to Freeman McNeil. So O'Brien falling back and misfiring play after play, and the Jets fail to get the first down and now have to punt the ball again.
There's another Kazoo. Kelso also with that helmet. They tell me that it takes away 25% of the shock. Here's a normal helmet weighs about 5 pounds, and this thing that they put this thing they put on top of it weighs 10 ounces, but it makes you taller.
That looks like some O.J. wear. That big helmet.
He's small.
O.J. came here. He couldn't practice the first couple of days. They didn't have a helmet big enough. They were glad to have him, though. Here's a return as Sutton runs it back and gets across the 30 out to the 35-yard line. Mickey Sutton, no relation to Willie. 46-yard punt and a 19-yard return. And the Bills have it when we come back.
As Coors Light, pure brewed in the Rockies, the Silver Bullet won't slow you down. It's the right beer now. And by Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, the best hamburger in the business.
A sunny day in western New York, but the winds have picked up and the temperature has dropped some as the Bills come out on offense, leading the game 10-0 with 11:59 to play in the first half. Reich at quarterback, steady and poised in his 5th year out of Maryland. His first start was last Monday night. End off to Thurman Thomas, and he is hit hard into the left side of the Jet defense. Fraze, Paul Fraze, number 91, a second-year defensive end from Syracuse, got a shoulder into him. Do we have a marker down there or not?
I think we got a hanky down on the play.
Yes, we do. Illegal procedure against the Bills, so Marty Lyons will, no doubt. Well, what will he do? There was no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15. They're going to make it 1st and 15.
Illegal formation. Offense. Wide receiver covering the next eligible receiver. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's Jim Kelly on the sideline out with a separated shoulder.
He's getting an explanation on what that was, just in case he's in there when they call it on him. He'll know he's doing a little coaching and modeling and stuff on the side of him. Jim, you know, he stays right with this team. Here's a guy that they say he's going to be out 3 or 4 weeks. I talked to him. He said, I want to play next week.
Probably going to be back for the Colts game on November 12th.
He is a quarterback with a linebacker's mentality, a tough football player.
Well, that's why he didn't go to Penn State or not. Joe Paterno wanted him as a linebacker, and Miami said you can play quarterback.
And boy, can he play quarterback.
He was the AFC's leading passer. Look at his numbers before he got hurt against the Colts 2 games ago. John Hand, a defensive end, fell on him, and it was his left shoulder. Fortunately, he's a right-arm thrower.
All these players watch the replay of the game, so let me tell you, Jim, I saw your show last night. Let the guests talk.
Right, throws and connects to Metzler, the tight end, on a 2nd down and 10 play. It's good for about 12 yards and a Bills first down. Kyle Clifton covering. They're catching the Jets' zone defense, unable to pick up the tight end.
When you have a receiver like Andre Reed keeping people deep, it enables the other receivers, like the tight end and the running back, to work underneath. And Metzler's works very well. Frank Wright trying to keep things going positively. Doesn't want to throw the ball way down the field, just taking them little 8-10-yard chunks and keeping his offense going.
And the offense moves on out to the 48-yard line. Kennebrew getting a lot of work and picking up those yards as he pounds inside the 45-yard line.
James Hasty, number 40 of the Jets, comes flying in to make this tackle on Kennebrew, but he's outweighed by about 300 pounds, and Kennebrew just nailed him.
A reminder to our viewers to stay tuned to NBC Sports for the 2nd game of today's NFL doubleheader. The Patriots go against Joe Montana and the Super Bowl champion 49ers at Stanford Stadium. For NBC's Bill Walsh, this New England-San Francisco game will be homecoming of sorts. Bill, you may recall, was the head coach at Stanford in 77 and 78, had a Rose Bowl team, and actually had bowl winners both his years there. Went on to the 49ers. And as another happy memory of Stanford Stadium, the 49ers under Walsh routed the Dolphins 38-16 at Stanford Stadium in Super Bowl 19 4 years ago, January of '85. Ralph Hawkins, the Bills defensive coordinator, had 2 different tours as a defensive coach here in Buffalo.
The players here on the Jets say they love Ralph Hawkins' schemes. They really like his design that he just lets them play. Ralph said, yes. I said, Ralph, what's your philosophy? He said, well, don't let him score.
That's a good one. Right now, his defense is an elephant gun to stop Kennebrew. Second and short. First back is Kennebrew, and he powers ahead for another Bills first down.
For the Buffalo first down.
Cincinnati, on another breach field goal, extends its lead over the Colts. The Colts 3-3 at the outset, were a game behind the Bills. Miami also 3-3 at the outset of the day. Ball is spotted at the 40-yard line of the Jets. In the second quarter, Bills are moving into a gusting wind. Kansas City and Dallas putting up the numbers. 21-14 Chiefs. Put on Kennebrew. No hole. He had to stand there and wait, and somebody came over the top and got him. First down carry, no yards.
All this motion in today's offense, boy, it looked like Andre Reed was confused. He started on the left side, went and motioned to the left, and then he came back over to the right, then he went back the other side. I don't know who you confuse when you do all of that.
Well, he didn't confuse any Jets. At least the run play didn't. There's no gain. It'll be second down and 10.
I'd like to see him draw that up. Andre, you line up over here, then run over to the left, then run over to the right, then run back over to the left, and then hand the ball to Kennebrew up the middle.
8:12 to go in the first half. Clock running. Bills in the lead, 10-0. Right on second and 10. Look at this. That might be a catch. They're ruling it incomplete. Metzelaars had it and lost it. Clifton was with him on that play, and it'll bring up third down and 10.
That was a great almost. He almost caught this. You see Cal Clifton, number 59, and sees him coming across the middle and starts taking off with him. Metzelaars reaches up, has the ball for a second, but just can't hold on to it. Clifton right there on him. Clifton feeling much more comfortable covering that tight end than he is getting one of them backs coming out of the backfield.
Right. He told us about it. He still has the butterflies. What was he saying about the second week?
No, I told him it's all right to have butterflies as long as they're flying in formation.
That's what they're doing the second start. They were all over the place Monday night. He couldn't throw in the ocean for a while. Then he really got hot. Hit 10 of his last 11 throws. And here he is on the run again as he dives for a first down. Frank Reich, a la Jim Kelly, takes it right at the defense and dives where he had to go for the first down.
Well, he almost dived too late. He took a shot on that right thigh, and I noticed he's limping a little bit back in the backfield. You get your adrenaline going like that, the pain hurts a little less, but it hurts still. Here you see Wright backing up, looking for somebody, then takes off down the field. He knows where that first down marker is, and he's going to try to dive and get it. But just as he gets there, he takes a shot right on the thigh, which will stiffen up as this game goes along.
A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Right, running the ball well. 3 for 26 on first down. Look at this. Kennebrew, the power back, takes it down to the 22-yard line. Eric McMillan, the last line of defense, the free safety, had to come up, and at 197, take on Big Brew. What's he saying, 270 now?
270, and this just isn't fair on a defensive back. Watch Kennebrew. Now he starts to accelerate. Where is somebody? And you Eric takes the right way out. He just ducks down underneath him. You mess around and go in there and try to stick your head into that guy, that could be the last you see of it.
He's getting some nice yardage.
9 carries, 56 yards. And he's been punishing people for all of those 56 yards.
Takes a lot of hits and gives a lot. Second down and just over 2. Bills lead, second quarter, 10-0. Kennebrew stuck hard. He'll be close to a first down, but short of it. Alex Gordon, 55. He felt the brunt of Larry Kennebrew.
Alex Gordon made a nice stick on Kennebrew, but now, as you see, he made that nice stick. Where's he going now? Over to the sideline. Boy, I tell you, you don't want to take on Kennebrew up high, and that's exactly what Alex Gordon did. And now he goes to find Bobby Reese, the trainer.
Kennebrew comes off. New people come out on a third and short play. Third down and 2 with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first half.
I think Gordon got the worst of that hit.
As you see the 10th play of the drive coming up. High set. Thurman Thomas dips to the outside like a touchdown run, and Thurman Thomas is inside the 20 and has a first down for Buffalo. Cornerback James Hasty got him, but Thurman Thomas weaves his way ahead for a Bills first down.
Thurman Thomas with that pick and peck running style. He takes the handoff here from Reich. He's trying to take this ball outside. There's nothing out there. Finds a little hole and then breaks it back inside. Just good enough to get the first down.
How about this first down count, Ahmad?
Buffalo has 12 first downs. The New York Jets, 0.
Jet defense now through almost 14 quarters with just 10 points scored by the offense. Touchdown and a field goal through almost 14 quarters, 3.5 games. Kennebrew. First down carry, and he pounds it down to the 15-yard line. He gained about 3. George Radichowski, the strong safety, knocked him down.
This is just old-fashioned football that Buffalo's putting on these Jets. They're just saying, you guys can't stop us. We're just going to fire out and run that ball right up the middle.
Yeah, Marv Levy loves the running game. He's had 2 Canadian Football League championship teams when he coached at Montreal. He likes to get a lead and then control the clock. Halftime NFL Live. Ralph Costas and O.J. Simpson standing by. Bills looking like championship form the last all of this game in the final quarter of last Monday night. Thomas gets the call again on second down and 7.
What this running game does for Frank Wright, it's just, he's becoming so much more and more confident because he doesn't have to feel like the game is on him. He's replacing a great quarterback in Jim Kelly, but boy, he's letting Kennebrew and Thomas and Metzelaars and all the people around him contribute to this offense, which is shown that, boy, they are powerful.
First guy to congratulate Kennebrew is Kelly.
Didn't I tell you that last week before he started, he lost 7 pounds because he was so nervous?
Yeah, Wright did, right?
Yeah, right.
He and his wife are expecting their first child soon. He said he's been nervous about that. Been taking that Lamaze class, huffing and puffing over.
Oh, no, he said...
He's a great kid, Wright. Real gentleman. 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first half, and there's a timeout on the field. His 49er years. They were great ones. 3 Super Bowl titles during the 1980s. Now, of course, Bill paired with Dick Enberg, and you'll be seeing him on most of these NBC stations covering the second game when the 49ers go against the New England Patriots at Stanford Stadium. From the shotgun on third and about 7. No marker. Right throws. He makes the connection to Andre Reed, who's inside the 10-yard line. They're going to spot the ball at the 10. That's a yard short of a first down. John Booty, a very quick defensive back, moved in and made the stop short of the first down. Norwood's coming out, the field goal kicker.
John Booty, who's been injured in the past, is just now coming back. And Mike Faulkner said this is one of the guys they missed. He's a big play defensive back. Andre Reed coming across underneath the defense. What they want to do is get Andre Reed the ball and then let him run for the first down. But it was just good defense on the Jets' part.
Field goal is hit hard up into the wind and through. Norwood pumps a fist as he delivers. And the Bills extend their lead now to 13-0 with 2:34 to play in the first half. Ahmad Rashad's already into that humongous bag of popcorn.
I had a sack once in high school. Finally got rewarded for it.
Finish that one, you get another bag. 9-3 now. Colts over, the Bengals over the Colts. Houston looking sharp after that upset of the Bears. The Oilers could be on their way, and the Vikings continue to control the Lions. Kansas City up on Dallas. And Tampa Bay with an unlikely 7-5 lead over the Redskins at Washington. Bobby Hebert, the Saints quarterback, told us last week there's no team around that's hit him like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did. Sometimes late, he said.
Well, you know what? If you can get to a quarterback and have him thinking about getting hit all the time, that sort of makes him a little bit ineffective as the game goes on.
That's what Walt Corey was saying yesterday, the Bills defensive coordinator, about they didn't sack Jim Everett, but they hit him hard 9 times without penalties.
Well,
that's the key.
Yeah, you got a uniform on. You're a football player. You're going to get hit unless you're a kicker. You don't get hit too much there. But you got to put it on his mind. And a lot of times, just putting pressure on the quarterback is better than a sack because you get in the quarterback's view and cause him to throw the ball a little bit off, which causes an interception.
Sounds right to me. The pressure's sometimes as good as the hits. I mean, they grade these guys on pressures. There are very few sacks now because the offensive linemen don't get called for holding unless they tackle you.
Well, pressure causes interceptions.
Look at that kickoff. It just stopped. Townsell picks it up. And somehow he gets himself out to the 35-yard line. And here's another marker in after the play.
Like a face mask on Sutton.
It stops the clock with 2:25 to play in the first half. Bills in the lead, 13-0.
Don, the time of possession so far. Wait a minute.
Illegal block in the back. Number 92 receivers during the return. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The Jets have had the ball so far 5 minutes and 45 seconds. The Bills have had it 21 minutes and 41 seconds. Right here at the end of the play, you see Newbert blocking right in the back, which is illegal. Therefore, they throw a flag, and then they move the ball back further. I could be a ref.
The Jets want to score them out. They might have the wrong group on the field or offense. They got to get points in their defense. They got all 14 last week in the defense. O'Brien in trouble, and they get him back at the 16-yard line. Bruce Smith.
Will Bruce dance?
What a force he is. First sack of the day, and O'Brien holding that injured left hand.
He said, I asked him how it was feeling. He said, well, it hurts, and it's affecting the grip, so I'm wearing this glove trying to improve my grip. O'Brien trying to find somebody downfield, nobody open, and then from the backside, here comes Bruce Smith. You got to know that Bruce Smith can only be blocked for so long. Even if you block him well, he keeps coming after the quarterback.
It's a great burst. You knock him down, and he gets up and still gets him. The Jet offense, and this is the 7th game of the season, as you know, the Jet offense has scored only 5 touchdowns this year. None today. They're on the short end of a shutout score, 13-0, as we have the 2-minute warning here at Rich Stadium.
Today is the Tino.
Outlined against the blue-gray October sky, that was a couple of Jets, not the 4 horsemen. Now, Ahmad's got the glove that Jim Kelly's wearing.
No.
Excuse me.
Jim O'Brien.
I'll tune in.
Kelly is wearing a glove, but this is the glove that he's wearing, and it's very tacky so that he can get a grip. Now, you try to take that out of my hand. See? It's the grip that he's wearing. Because he throws with this hand.
That's right. He's protecting that injured hand is Ken O'Brien. Get my QB straight here. Look at Smith come. But O'Brien gets it away. A free ball, and Townsell catches it.
Boy.
3 years ago, that would have been called back. One offensive receiver to another, but now it's a legal play. It went off the hands of Schuler, and almost like they would like to have planned it, it went right to Townsell for a 22-yard gain, the biggest gain of the day for the Jets.
Boy, if you see this shot that Schuler took, remember, he's got the broken ribs. Watch that shot. Oh, my gosh. That's a lot of pain. I can't believe that he got up, and then Townsell making the catch there. But Schuler is in a lot of pain right now.
Interesting second look. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The producer of today's game, Terry Ewert. Director, Ted Nathanson. As you see, we have 1:55 left to play. First half. O'Brien lofting it downfield. Townsell diving for the ball. This former sprinter from UCLA can't get to the ball, and it's incomplete.
Pretty good coverage on JoJo Townsell. But O'Brien makes a very nice throw. Kirby Jackson right there with Townsell. Ball's thrown just that the only person that can catch it is JoJo Townsell that has a chance to, and he makes a nice effort. Ball just a little bit long.
Kirby Jackson's a free agent starting at the left corner for the injured Derek Burrows, a former #1 draft choice. He's out with a neck injury. O'Brien on 2nd and 10. Stands in, loops it over the middle to Freeman McNeil. Defense gets him just short of the first down, but time of the essence now, and the clock is down to 1:40 and running in the second quarter as the Jets go into alignment without a huddle. 2-minute offense. O'Brien takes some time, throws, and Schuler can't get to it. O'Brien again comes in high.
Schuler reaching up with that good hand. He's got the good hand on the bad rib side. I mean, he's got all kind of problems here. Schuler releasing off the ball, line of scrimmage, goes inside Darryl Talley, bringing the ball downfield. He's open here. The ball's a little bit high. I guarantee you, if his other hand wasn't bad, he'd have been able to get both hands up and make that catch.
So he's got the bad ribs on one side, the bad hand on the other side.
He's all messed up.
Jets going to 4th down now, 4th and 2, and Ken O'Brien called for a timeout. The 80,000 here at Rich Stadium helped him make that decision. He couldn't hear. So Joe Walton will now have some advice for Ken O'Brien, like get it in the end zone.
Down any way they can get one at this point, if it's by penalty or by making the catch. Burkett with a little slant pattern over the middle. Leonard Smith all over him.
Holding, number 37 defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Nate Odom's also all over him. O'Brien looking to his left. Burkett coming across the middle. And Odom just, I mean, a lot of times that's a good play by defensive back. Hold the guy, don't give him the touchdown.
Al Bryan will see what he can do with 1:22 to play in the half. Deep drop, he's got time. There's an open man, and he makes the connection downfield to Chris Burkett. The ex-Bill making his 9th reception as a Jet and his first to this day.
He's played against his defense quite a few times in practice. He might be the guy to throw the ball to. He knows all these guys' tendencies.
That was the first time they went to Burkett. Bryan looking again. He's running out of it. And he was level just as his arm was coming forward. Bruce Smith got him, and you're talking about those pressures and hits, even though they don't result in sacks.
They certainly result in the quarterback being careful from now on. You got to feel this guy coming from the behind you.
Believe him.
Even if you know he's blocked, you know that you only got a certain amount of time to let that ball go, and he is coming down. Bruce Smith, and I don't know if I've said it one time, but I need to say it another time, is one of the best defensive linemen in the league.
As you know, in the offseason, he was a free agent, and the Denver Broncos offered him $7.5 million for 5 years. Ralph Wilson, the man who pays the bills, came up with the 7.5 and kept him. Downfield throw, and it's incomplete. Burkett was open.
Bruce Smith caused this.
He's got this Kirby Criswell talking to himself.
Well, he had a little help there from Freeman McNeil trying to double up on him. Bruce Smith coming up strong from the top.
That time
here he's best. Here he comes. He's got two guys. There's Freeman trying to pick him up too. Now he bumps in Criswell in the front. He's turning those guys every way but loose. He's such a force.
Very agile. He was a first-team All-State basketball player in Virginia.
And such a nice man.
Yes, he is.
Very soft-spoken. Helps you up when he knocks you down.
O'Brien stands in, lets her rip, and again he's far too far for tight end Mickey Schuler. Stopping the clock with 47 seconds to play, and again 4th down comes up for the Jets. Rich Kotite to the left, Jets offensive coordinator.
And Richie, no matter what Richie draws up, the players got to do something and come up with a big play. A lot of times Richie, and talking to Richie last night, we were talking that, you know, sometimes you drop a play where it's a little 5-yard out. The guy has to make a big play. Catch the ball, make the guy miss the tackle, and go run for a touchdown.
And here's Pat Leahy lining up for a 53-yard attempt. He's, I believe, hit from 55. Wind to the back. He's into it. He's got plenty behind it, but it tails off to the right. So it is no good, and with 42 seconds to play in the first half, the Bills take over the ball with some time to operate here, Ahmad.
And operate they have been doing this entire first half. This is a total team effort right here. Defense playing extremely well, offense playing better than that.
Not a whole lot happened between the Raiders and Eagles. No score at halftime. Houston in command of the Steelers. Both those teams started the day 3-3. Washington with a touchdown now goes in front of Tampa Bay.
Leahy, it's the win. You just have to, you got to take a shot. Sometimes, I was talking to the kicker, sometimes you have to aim way to the left and hope the wind blows it back through the middle.
Just how Norwood missed on his first try, then his second one he knocked through. He's hit on 2 field goals, 2 of 3 today for Buffalo. Bills looking to take their winnings to the locker room as they go to the run. Thurman Thomas is down at the 37-yard line. Clock running.
Talking to Joe Walton last night, he said that when he first started playing, he ended up having to play the whole game, and he thought it was great. Well, this defense is almost playing the whole game, and I bet you that they don't like it.
That's the problem. His defense is worn out as we're getting set for NFL Live at halftime with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson. Walton was talking to us about the rosters being what they're at. He said when he was with the Redskins, he said they were 33-man rosters, but by the end of the season, they tell about 5 or 6 guys to get lost so they wouldn't have to pay them. They had about 27 by the last game.
That's good. He said he had to play both ways, and he liked it. He said, this is great.
All-pro tight end. His top salary was $22,000. Said Y.E. Tittle was the guy cleaning up. He was getting $45,000. Kelly and O'Brien get a lot more than that per game. A lot more.
Well, Jim Kelly, even though he's not playing, he's counseling.
Kelly gets $100,000 a game, and Bryan gets a little less than that. Jack Kemp, the Health and Housing Urban Development man in Washington, the longtime congressman from Western New York, spoke here a week ago, and Kelly was in the audience. He told Kelly he should be ashamed of himself sitting down with a separated shoulder. He said, in my day, we used to take a couple shots of Novocaine, he said, and get right in there. And he said, don't worry about booing to Kelly. He said, when I was around here, they used to pelt me with bottles and cans, and that was just leaving my house before I got to the ballpark.
Oh, gosh.
Bills set up in the shotgun with 14 seconds to play in the first half. You see the numbers, 2nd down and 8. Buffalo in the lead, 13-0. Ronnie Harmon runs the ball. He's still running the ball, and he's down across midfield to the 49-yard line. Bills elect not to go to the timeout. They'll run out the clock, and that will do it. So the Bills dominating Joe Walton's Jets defensively. The Jets have been able to go nowhere off the ball, and the Bills sustaining offense have built a 13-0 lead. NFL Live is coming up next as the Bills go with a 13-0 halftime advantage. Count the Bills who've beaten the Jets 11.
We welcome those of you watching the Jet-Buffalo game. Bob Costas along with O.J. Simpson on the pregame show. We talked about Bo Jackson. You were out in Los Angeles visiting with him. He's 9 for 24 in the first half. If that's baseball, it's .375. Good enough to beat out Kirby Puckett, Wade Boggs, and all the rest for the American League batting title. In football, a bit less than what he would have hoped for. 9 carries, 24 yards in the first half. A scoreless first half. The Raiders at Philadelphia.
Well, Bo obviously is not doing too well today, but, you know, the Raiders have been doing a lot of talking about running the football, old Raider ball, so certainly they didn't surprise Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a very physical defensive line. They're controlling the game at this point, but a guy like Bo normally will get most of his yards from 1 or 2 runs, so you really can't judge Bo's performance until the game is over. On the overall, though, I would think Art Shell is pretty happy right now. His team is 0-0. Philadelphia, many people thought would go to the Super Bowl. His team, they didn't think was going anywhere. 0-0 at halftime. I think Art Shell's pretty happy right now.
Raiders 3-3 with 2 straight wins under the new head coach, and Philadelphia coming in at 4-2, no score at halftime. Cincinnati leads Indianapolis at Riverfront. They've just gone to the third quarter. Jim Breach with 3 first-half field goals. It's 9-3. Eric Dickerson had 70 yards in the first half for the Colts. He hasn't rushed for over 100 in a month. Miami leading Green Bay 10-6 halftime at Joe Robbie. Marino, a 7-yard touchdown pass to Jim Jensen. In the game you're watching, the Jet offense continues to sputter. Buffalo playing with great emotion, coming off the Monday night win over the Rams, and without Jim Kelly, on their way perhaps to making it 5 wins in 7 starts, leading 13-0 at the half. Houston just got another touchdown pass from Warren Moon, and as they go to the half, they lead Pittsburgh in an AFC Central matchup at the Astrodome 24-0. Moon threw 3 touchdown passes in the first half, 2 of them to Alonzo Highsmith, and a 51-yarder to Curtis Duncan. There's good news about Jerry Glanville, the coach of the Oilers, who was bitten on the foot by a water moccasin while walking with his son outside his Houston home last night. That's a poisonous snake, of course, but doctors were able to treat the wound. He's okay and on the sidelines, as you see, coaching the Oilers today to a 24-0 halftime lead. Minnesota at Detroit and leading at the Silverdome. It's halftime there, 13-0. Herschel Walker has a 1-yard touchdown run. His first TD as a member of the Vikings, who are 4-2. The Lions are 1-5. Kansas City leading at home against Dallas. Cowboys come in 0-6. Chiefs 2-4. 24-14 is the score. It's late in the second quarter. Christian Okoye has 2 touchdowns for the Chiefs. Paul Palmer, against his former Kansas City teammates, immediately makes an impact for Dallas, a 63-yard scoring run from scrimmage, but it hasn't been enough. The Cowboys trail by 10. Washington just got a Mark Rippon touchdown pass to Gary Clark just before halftime. They assume the lead at Tampa Bay, or at home, I should say, against Tampa Bay. The score there at RFK is 12-7 at the half.
Meetings in front again today. Don Criqui with Ahmad Rashad. During the week, Jets quarterback Ken O'Brien, with due respect to the comic book character Pogo, said, Ahmad, we have met the enemy and they are us. And the Jets have 3 yards rushing in the first half.
They are still searching for an offense, but in terms of the Buffalo Bills, they've found their offense. They've been very strong today. Thurman Thomas has come out just running like an all-pro along with Kennebrew. Here's Thomas's touchdown, where he just takes his ball, goes outside, he gets one-on-one with Cal Clifton, puts that old jelly on him, and then just high knees it into the end zone.
And Bruce Smith coming on that fearsome rush from the right side with his sack of Ken O'Brien. He's been after him all day.
Bruce Smith just constantly chasing down the quarterback. Here he gets a sack. And yesterday he told me, he said, you know, I'm behind. You know I'm one of the best defensive linemen in the league. I need some sacks. And he got one right there.
There he is.
The irrepressible Bruce Smith is a superstar.
#1 player picked in the draft when he came out of Virginia Tech. The Outland Trophy winner, every award you can possibly give a lineman. The Jets with only 3 yards rushing on 5 carries in the first half. Walton said before the game, to win, we have to run the ball, and once again, they cannot.
The Jets just haven't been able to do so.
Ronnie Harmon is the deep man now as the Bills' kickoff return team is on the field for the first time in the game. A spinner that comes to Steve Tasker at the near side. He crosses the 20, fights his way across the 25-yard line, and the Bills on offense will go 1st and 10 from about their 28 to start the third quarter of play. Timmy Cofield was down to make the special teams play for the Jets.
Half-to-half improvement is always so important to any football team. The Bills need to have half-to-half improvement, and the Jets, they need just improvement, period.
The Bills with barely no points today and only 10 points over the last 3.5 games. Last 14 quarters. Less than a point a quarter. Kennebrew, who had a lot of carries in the first half and was very productive, runs to open the third quarter for the Bills. The Jets shut him down. Marty Lyons at right defensive end, 93, got him.
This is one of the best I've seen Kennebrew play. He really has his weight down, has his speed down, and running very hard. 11 carries, 60 yards in the first half, 5.5 yards a carry. Long gain of 19 yards.
For the most part, Jets did a good job against Thurman Thomas. He had only 29 yards on 13 carries, 2.2 per carry. He came in averaging just under 5. So they keyed on Thomas, and Kennebrew did the damage. Second down and a long 8. Thurman Thomas breaks one this time, and he gets out across the 35-yard line, out close to the 38.
Thurman Thomas is one of those backs that you can hold down for a while, but not for long. He will find a way to find a crack and may go all the way at any time. He's just that kind of a back, one of those pick and see. Just you feel the excitement every time he runs the ball. Here you go. Thomas taking his hand off, trying to find a place to run. Finds way back inside the tackle, and then accelerates through the defensive secondary.
Radichowski, number 25, finally got him. One of the things that motivates Thurman Thomas, he says, is the fact that every team in the NFL, all 28, passed on him in the first round. So every game he plays, he's playing against a team that bypassed him in the draft.
And every team is upset that they did so.
Look at Kennebrew. Rolling out to the 45-yard line. Wrestled down by James Hasty. But Kennebrew on 3rd and short busts it for 7 yards and a first down.
Very good tackle by James Hasty because he's certainly outweighed. Kennebrew powering in, supposed to go off tackle, breaks it outside. The only person that can stop him is James Hasty, and he takes Hasty for a little bit of a ride. Hasty showing that courage. Sometimes courage and about another 30 or 40 pounds, he'd be better off.
Kennebrew running hard at 270 with 68 yards on 13 carries. Bills now content to control the game with their power run game. First down and 10 coming up. Lone setback is Thurman Thomas. He gets it. Number 34 trying to move outside, is cut down by the Jets for maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Thurman Thomas carry.
Bills coaches strong believers, and if you run it over 40 times, you're going to win virtually every time.
If you run it over 40 times, obviously you're in the lead. The Jets would like to run it 40 times, but they just have not been able to get anything going. They've got another half a play. You know, when you go in at halftime like this, not being able to do things, you almost got to start all over again. And I'm sure that's what Joe Walton told his offense, is that we're starting from scratch, guys. Just, you got to do something.
Jet defenders are looking for overtime pay. They're on the field for over 3 3/4 the last couple of weeks. Here's a handoff to Kennebrew, and there's not much there on a second down carry. Bills fans start to call for more style in the offense. And now Buffalo will go to the throwing down. Wright came in. He got wrapped pretty good there on that one play in the first half. He also had a sprain of his index finger on his throwing hand. Didn't seem to bother him.
How about those two fellas right there? These are the impact players. Bennett hasn't done a lot today, but I guarantee the Jets know where he is.
Biscuit and Bruce.
Biscuit and Bruce. They call Bennett Biscuit because he used to like biscuits when he was young.
Good. Now he eats quarterbacks. Gobbles them up. Go to Smith. There they come. Downfield throw, and Hasty made a play on the ball. Almost had his 4th interception. A group you play with at Minnesota, the Purple People Eaters.
They used to like to eat quarterbacks, too.
Cofield got a big rush on, number 50.
Right here, trying to fire this ball out. Hasty gets a jump. He's playing way off. Sees the ball leave the quarterback's arms. Just can barely, he almost gets a chance to make that interception, but almost is only good in horseshoes.
Horseshoes and dancing. That's it. Gonzalez back now for John Kidd's punt. He hits a good one into the wind. Unbelievable. Carries into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 20. So John Kidd put a tight spiral on the ball somehow, and it took off right into the wind.
Well, the strange thing about it, Don, is there is no wind now. If you look at up at the top of the goalpost, the flags are almost not moving at all.
Old Glory's blowing pretty good, though, up a little higher. Tough wind to handicap, and the Jets set to go on offense for the first time in the third quarter.
TNT, the right choice.
The Bills packing in 80,000 again. Led the NFL in attendance last season and en route to doing it again. Their minor league baseball team here outdrew 2 or 3 major league teams. But went over 1 million again. The Buffalo Bisons. First down carry. Not much there for Freeman McNeil as he's stopped short by Scott Radisick, an inside linebacker. Bills have a first-team All-Pro linebacker. Shane Conlon still on the shelf with a knee injury, but he's recuperating very well and will be back soon, maybe next week. Colts come back to tie the game on a Jack Trudeau touchdown pass at Cincinnati. Bad snap. The extra point was no good. Lions had a ray of hope a week ago on that. Beat Tampa Bay, but out back to the same old thing.
Well, that was before the Vikings got Herschel Walker.
O'Brien on 2nd and 9. Throwing a catch to Schuler. And protecting those bad ribs and lunging ahead, Mickey Schuler gets to the 28-yard line.
Mickey Schuler is really playing at about half speed. But here you see Bruce Smith here on Criswell just pounding away, being relentless, trying. And Criswell's got his jersey and everything.
He really has his jersey.
I think the only way you beat this guy is you lock him in the locker room.
When he wants to go, there's nobody quite like him. The Jets now have 3rd down and 2 coming up. They trail 13-0. Throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mickey Sutton.
Mickey Sutton, the ball was thrown right at him. He was laying on the ground.
Stealing like Willie Sutton.
Just right, hit him right in the chest, and he was laying on the ground. It's like, well, look what I found. And Joe Walton, a little concerned there, and he should be. Sutton, boy, he must be living right to get an interception like that. It was a fake end around. O'Brien faking to JoJo Townsell, throwing the ball. He's looking for Johnny Hector, and Johnny Hector runs right by the ball. And Sutton rolls over and hits him in the chest.
So the Bills now have the ball at the 30-yard line. First down and 10. Right, looking to capitalize. Quick out. He gets Flip Johnson, a very quick wide receiver who is down to the 23-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. James Hasty on the defense for the Jets.
James Hasty getting a workout today. He used to be Flipper Johnson. Just a little bitty, they call this a hitch pass. He runs down, stops, stands up. Ball hits him right in the chest, and Hasty comes right up and makes the tackle. You missed that tackle on that play right there, you got 6 points. That's the tough part about those little hitch patterns, and you got a speedy receiver like Flipper Johnson. If he can avoid one tackler, he's off to the races. Hasty with a fine tackle.
He's probably the fastest Bill receiver, Flip Johnson. Second down and 3 coming up. Thurman Thomas winds his way again into the Jet defense. He has a first down as he comes inside the 20-yard line. Lagaman got him. Thomas, who can go north, south, east, and west this time, slanted and ran sideways to get the first down.
You got to give a lot of credit to this Buffalo offensive line. They are really firing out, giving these backs a place to run. And the backs are doing very well with the cutback running. Reicher handing the ball off to Thurman Thomas, and he's able to cut back and find a hole. They just asked this offensive lineman to fire out on somebody and ask the back to find the hole.
Wolford and Ballard the tackles. Richer and Devlin the guards. Hall is the center. End zone throw. Touchdown Buffalo. As the best in the league is certainly in the American Conference. Andre Reed comes down with the ball for a 20-yard gain and a touchdown. And the Bills have the route on, leading 19-0.
You can only control Andre Reed for so long, but the man who made this play is Thurman Thomas. There was a blitz on. Thurman Thomas picks up the blitz, right lets the ball go. Here you go. You watch Andre Reed work. This is just a fade pattern. It's very hard to stop him at the line of scrimmage because he's so quick. And 3 steps into the route, he's wide open. Well, if we get a shot at the ball being released without the block by Thurman Thomas, this is a sack. Excellent blitz pickup.
So the Bills hit the big play early in the third quarter. 7:52 to play in it. And they've extended their lead now of the Jets to 20-0.
McDonald's has a...
Well, Thurman Thomas steps up, picks up the blitz by number 55, Alex Gordon, which enables them to get touchdown. Watch this block. This is a big play. There's the blitz. Thurman Thomas picks it up, gets the time to throw the ball to Andre Reed, and that's a perfectly executed play.
It really was, just like they draw it up. Now Norwood's into the ball on the ensuing kickoff to JoJo Townsell. He's across the 20. Townsell, a very shifty runner, gets out to about the 29-yard line. That's all, and the Jets will try again. At this point, there's a penalty marker down. At this point, the Jets' offensive line isn't even competitive.
There has been a penalty marker down almost on every one of these plays.
As Joe Walton said before the game, there's a player down. It looks like Newbert, one of the tight ends, Keith Newbert. At our offense and our defense. We're getting nothing from our offense.
Receiving team during the return. 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
Top young tight end prospect from Nebraska, Keith Newbert, having his left knee examined. Billy Griggs is out with a shoulder injury suffered last week. He won't play for 4 weeks.
Their training room looks like a mass unit, but so far this year, the most valuable player on this Jet team has got to be Dr. Elliot Hirschman, who's done all those knee surgeries.
And a reminder again, the second game of our NBC Sports doubleheader today. The Patriots go against the Super Bowl champion 49ers. They'll play at Stanford Stadium today. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations. The Patriots, an unlikely team to figure. They're 2-4 on the year. They can beat anybody. 49ers have only played one game at Candlestick Park this year. They lost it to the Rams. That's the only loss.
Yeah, well, one of the strange things, we saw the New England Patriots early on in the year, and they were talking about going to the Super Bowl and excited about it. At this rate, they will be going to the Super Bowl, but they'll all be in a bus with tickets in their hands.
That's it. Not only, Ahmad, as you remember, were they talking about it, but their coach, Raymond Berry, was talking to the owner, Victor Kiam, about it.
Well, Raymond will also be on that bus with a ticket.
Here's the Jet wounded. Al Toon out with 2 ankle injuries. He also has a bad shoulder. Wesley Walker ankle problems. These guys were both holdouts. Michael Harper now with a knee injury. And the list goes on and on. They think this Stevan Moore is going to be a terrific safety. And he had reconstructive surgery. O'Brien on 1st and 10. Swings it out to Johnny Hector running in the open field. Radisick in pursuit. And Scott Radisick gets him out of bounds, but the Jets get a first down. One of their best plays of this game as they get the ball out to their 37-yard line.
Okay, now that's good. That's good there. They got something going, babe. Here we go. O'Brien finds Hector coming out of the backfield. He picks up the pass and gets going downfield for an 18-yard gain. Now this has got to fire this offense up.
They need a big play so bad to get in the end zone they might get untracked.
In the past, they've been able to put points up on the board in a hurry. They just need to do it right away.
Roger Vick running hard, doesn't get much. Vick has had so many problems getting going. A #1 draft choice out of Texas A&M 3 years ago. Coming into the game in the last 3 games, 17 carries for 14 yards. Dolphins looking to go to 4-3. They've come back. They'll be in here before another sellout at Rich Stadium next Sunday to play the Bills.
Joe Walton said his team is playing hard. It's just nothing is happening. You got to make a big play. Take something little and make it big.
Ryan throws and makes the connection to Schuler. And Nicky Schuler, another tremendous reception going high, gets to the 45. Schuler, who comes out of Penn State over the last 5 years, a lot of people aren't aware of this. There's only 5 players in the NFL over that 5-year period who caught more passes than he has. Roger Craig of the 49ers, Art Monk of the Redskins. Largent is the other.
So he's the top tight end. He's so important to have in this offense because he's such a tough player. He keeps everybody else fired up. You look at a guy that's playing with a broken hand and broken ribs, and it's got to make you want to play harder. Or either get out of the way.
Penalty knocker goes down as Johnny Hector does, trying to go wide right. Mark Kelso, the free safety, free agent from William & Mary. He's been a top player for the Bills. Came up and made the tackle.
I still want to know, is it the William & Mary what? What is their nickname?
The Colonials or something. Maybe that's the conference room.
Illegal motion, number 68 offense, penalty decline, 2nd down.
Nate Odom's in a very strange position for a defensive back. See, now I'd be confident if I was Burkett standing in front of him. I figured I could run right by him. That's what everybody figures, and then Odom comes right out of that squat and is right on top of the guy. Boy, that's interesting.
Plays like Lester the Molester Hayes used to for the Raiders. Comes up and challenges. And Jets break it on the run is Johnny Hector, and he gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line as the Jets, well into the 3rd quarter of play, finally show some sustained offense. Kirby Jackson, one of the corners, made a play and knocked him out of bounds.
Now these Jets are starting to get exciting. Johnny Hector coming in late and not really getting a lot of repetitions. I talked to him before the game. He said, the more I carry the ball, the better I get. The problem is they haven't been on the field long enough for him to get a lot of carries. That was a 14-yard run by Hector.
Bills have beaten the Jets the last 3 times they've played. Leading today are the Buffalo Bills 20-0 in the 3rd quarter. The Jets moving the ball. O'Brien has hit his 2nd sack of the day. Bruce Smith, the best in the business. There's Jim Kelly in the stands there, number 12.
I tell you what, Bruce Smith is going to have to get get a pickup truck to take them bags of popcorn home after this game. He's got 2 big bags right now.
Popcorn update. You're well into your first bag now. You're about an eighth of the way down.
O'Brien coming out, looking over the left side, and when you look on the left side and Smith's over there, you can't even hardly look downfield to try to find a receiver. He's so big and so omnipresent that you don't know what to do. He just tied the club sack record 51 by gentle Ben Williams. Wasn't so gentle.
Pitch back. McNeil, markers down. As Freeman McNeil, running hard to the right side, gets down inside the 25-yard line.
When the stop is a flag.
Joe Walton.
Joe Walton getting a vote of confidence last week. The hue and cry began again because of the Jets' bad start. But Steve Gutman, the team's president, on Monday said Joe Walton will not be fired.
Tripping.
To discuss.
Number 82 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, Joe is so tired of the realities of this team. They have so many injuries. But when a coach keeps saying it, it sounds like they're making a lot of excuses. You see Dan Alexander, he got called for tripping. I don't know. Maybe it was Mickey Schuler called for tripping. Which I didn't see. Of course, I don't wear a striped shirt.
First thing Schuler's done wrong all day. Second and long coming up now. O'Brien throws the out pattern, and JoJo Townsell looks off the ball at the defender. Kelly coming up to strike him, and it's incomplete.
This is a very, very tough catch. When you're wide open, the ball's coming to you a little late, and as the ball's coming to you, out of the side of your eye, you see a linebacker and a cornerback coming at you. JoJo Townsell, I'm sure he can feel Odoms and Talley bearing down to make a tackle, and he just couldn't get the ball down before they got to him. A little bit of a juggling act there. But Talley, one of the more underrated linebackers in professional football. They say he grades out as the #1 defensive player on this team.
It's true. Darryl Talley grades out as #1 play after play. Playing behind Smith doesn't hurt. Here's a throw, and good to see that Keith Newbert, who had his knee checked, is back in. He couldn't make that catch, but he is playing Leonard Smith, a tough, strong safety. The Bills have made some terrific personnel moves. Bill Polian, the general manager of the team, the NFL Executive of the Year, brought in a lot of players, either free agents or, in the case of Leonard Smith, in a trade. He was a #1 draft choice of the Cardinals. Big-time player, and he was what they needed at strong safety.
This offense, in order to get it going for the Jets, you got to make catches like that. You got to make all those tough catches. You got to do the little things to get positive plays happening to you.
Prokop hits a high pipe. Vicky Sutton won't even look at that. He lets it go in. Doesn't. It goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So Prokop, who's been one of the best at placing the ball inside the 20, knocks it out of bounds at the 2. A 41-yard punt right where it had to be. The Bills still in command. We'll have to go the long field when we come back.
The line. Dial 1-900-226-8000 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And there, some years ago, is a artist rendition of Ahmad Rashad. You're the only guy that looks younger now than you did 15 years ago. That was when you were playing for the Bills in, what, 73 and 74?
That's right. That was 15 years ago. But, playing kept me young. I had the opportunity to play in a lot of cities across the country, and playing here in Buffalo was a real highlight. This is a great town to play football. These people take their football seriously.
I'll buy that. I'm from Buffalo. I think it's... I come here for my vacations.
They talk about...
You hear Buffalo jokes.
That's right. They are talking pride. This is a proud city, and they're proud of their football team.
Handoff as the Bills try to get out of jail. Buffalo has one of the most booming economies in the country since the free trade agreement with our neighbor to the north, Canada. Buffalo really has boomed. Mayor Jimmy Griffin. How strong a mayor is he? He's running again for about his 10th term. I don't know how many he's been in. Nobody's running against him. There was a guy said, "Hey, Jimmy, you got it, Dave. I'll pass."
Great city to play football in. Hadn't been a great city for the Jets so far, though, today.
Look at a big run by Kennebrew. As on second down and 10, he crashes out to close to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up third and short. Kennebrew has had a fumbling problem. You see how he addresses that. Two big arms around the ball.
His fumbling problem came when he became a little bit overweight, but as long as he's looking fit as he does now, he doesn't have any problem at all. He's just running over people. And, you know, he's so big that you forget he's 6'2". He looks like he's about 5'10" out there.
He's so blithe, like these linemen. You see some of these linemen, they look like they're 5'10". You get up next to them, they're 6'4", but they're so wide. Third and 2, back to the power set, and it looks like the Jets stopped it. So the Jets special teamers are coming out now to send out their punt return group. There's the magic elixir of your friend Art Still.
Art Still, my man Art. You know, Art is just, I guess I could say Art's a little different. And this, he has tea. He said I bring my own tea out, makes me feel good, and I keep it right under the bench and go over to the tea. They were telling me during training camp he brought a monkey to training camp that was a black belt in karate.
Does he need a gallon of tea?
He has a gallon there every week. I guess he has it during practice, too.
It's a caffeine fix.
I think it's herbal tea, no caffeine.
Oh, is that right?
He's a natural man.
Right. Jets put on a big rush, and Kidd does well to get it away, but not very far. And the Bills down it at the 37-yard line. So the Jets get very good field position to open this drive late in the third quarter. 1 minute and 57 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. The Jets still with nothing on the board. They trail the Bills 20-0. That was a 27-yard punt. Where Jim Kelly is right now as he's sidelined until November 12th. And here is O'Brien, sacked by Cornelius Bennett. Well, they're looking for trouble from the right in Bruce Smith, and all of a sudden Cornelius Bennett is freed on the left side.
That is the tough part of this defense. If you put too much concern on trying to stop Bruce Smith or Darryl Talley, then what you get is Cornelius Bennett right in your face. And that's what Ken O'Brien just got. He's got so much speed and quickness. Cornelius Bennett is one of these guys that could play halfback and probably be pretty doggone good.
No question. He wants to play tight end. He'd love to get a shot playing some tight end. Throwing a catch. Jojo Townsell turning out, and now O'Brien is right on target as a couple of people start up. Lay on the sack. Dr. Seals and Reggie McElroy were punching each other after the play. Leon Seals, 96 there. On his license plate, he's got Dr. Sack. He went to visit a friend in the hospital in Buffalo General. He pulled into the doctor's parking and pulled right into an MD's place. I said, you know, Doc, you said I'm Dr. Sack. I threw him out. Hey, I'm a doctor.
He's a doctor, all right. With a small D.
Good throw by O'Brien up the middle, and breaking free for the moment is Chris Burkett, the former Bill. He's down to the 15-yard line as the Jets now have their deepest penetration of the Buffalo end of the field, coming with just 1:14 to play in the third quarter. 18-yard gain in the play.
A very nice pattern by Burkett, who gets inside, comes over the middle, and Ken O'Brien makes a great throw here. He stands in under pressure and just fires that ball on a rope to Burkett, and Burkett, watch out, O'Brien just hanging in there, gets pounded just as he lets the ball go, but it's a great throw. And Burkett, as they announce his name, gets booed loudly here in Buffalo.
But he was a very popular player among his teammates and coaches. He didn't feel he was being used well. And here's O'Brien being swept under Bruce Smith with his third sack of the day. He came in with 4.5 sacks through the first 6 games. He has 3 today. Count climbing.
Boy, he's going to have to clean out his garage to put all that popcorn in. Bruce Smith, as we mentioned earlier, just keeps coming. Mickey Schuler, it's very hard for Mickey Schuler to try to block a guy like Bruce Smith. He's got a bad rib, he's got a bad hand, and he's playing in front of one of the best pass rushers in the business.
Today he is the best in the business. O'Brien on second and long yardage, puts it downfield, and it's too far. Herbie Jackson covering well against Townsell. The Jets so limited in their wide receiver corps because of injuries. First team All-Pro Al Toon out. Wesley Walker out. Michael Harper out. So they've got to go time and again to Townsell.
Bruce Smith having a conversation with Criswell. I'm sure he was telling that he was holding him. He had a long conversation.
That's what I'd do.
He had a long conversation there with Criswell. I noticed that Ken O'Brien came up and gave him a little pat on the butt.
I asked him about that at practice yesterday when we saw him out. He said the holding's getting better. There's not as much as there used to be earlier in the season. For the first couple of weeks, it was terrible. On third down, O'Brien stands into the end zone. Open is Burkett. And he loses the ball. Wide open for 6. So in derision, the Bills stand and cheer derisively Chris Burkett for dropping a touchdown throw.
Big plays is what Joe Walton says is begging his team for. We must have, and a great move there by O'Brien. It goes over and gives the guy a pat on the head, saying that's okay. Nice release off the ball by Burkett. Great pattern run. He's wide open here. The ball is right to him. This is a tough ball to catch only because you get to watch it for so long. I'm not making an excuse for him because he certainly should have caught that ball, but I think it was a great show of sportsmanship by O'Brien going over and giving him a little pat on the back.
Leahy gets the field goal up, and he gets it. They rule it good. It was over the upright. And apparently the official right there said he had the range, and so Pat Leahy finally gets the Jets on the board almost at the conclusion of the third quarter, just 16 seconds to play. And so the Bills now lead the game 20-3. Next Saturday, NBC Sports World presents one of the most thrilling events in horse racing, the 1989 Breeders' Cup Steeplechase, plus coverage of one of the world's most grueling endurance races, the Western States 100. And coming in November, NBC Sports presents exclusive coverage of the 1989 Breeders' Cup live from beautiful Gulfstream Park in Hallandale, Florida, with 7 championship races worth $10 million in prize money. The Breeders' Cup, America's day at the races.
The Jets came in here looking for big plays. Now you see them, they're over there all huddled together, looking for big plays. They get a chance to get when there's nobody around Burkett. Panic, can't bring the ball down, and he feels probably as bad as anybody in Western New York right now by dropping that ball.
And the Jets will kick off for the second time in the game. They did it to open the third quarter. Downfield hit, and it goes into the end zone, and Ronnie Harmon watches it go out. Touch back out to the 20 where the Bills will go on offense, 1st and 10. 11 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Bills, who led 20-0 at halftime, now lead 20-3. The Eagles have opened up a 10-0 lead on the Raiders in the fourth quarter at Philadelphia. They were scoreless at the half. Miami starting to come on. Their defense is tightened up, and Marino's found the range again, beating Green Bay. Houston Steelers, no contest, nor the Vikings in Detroit. Close at Pontiac, Michigan, where the Lions, where the Vikings lead 20-0. Dallas off to an 0-7 start. Or will be soon. Frank Reich running the Bills offense. Thurman Thomas darts into the hole. Jets fill quickly and make the stop. First down carry, good for a gain of about 1 yard. Dennis Byrd, a rookie defensive end, made the stop, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of play at Buffalo, where the Bills are in command of the Jets, 20-3. We'll be back to Rich Stadium right after this. Backers made the stop for the Jets, Troy Benson and Kyle Clifton. Big Hit in Buffalo is a new book out reviewing 30 years of Bills football with great trivia questions. One of the questions is, who is the Bills linebacker that lived in his car by War Memorial Stadium? Frank Ramos of the Jets heard that. He said, Henry Schmidt. I said, how'd you know that? He said, because he was with the Jets for a while, and he lived in his car with us, too.
I thought the greatest picture in the entire book was a picture of Paul McGuire in a uniform.
Pencil cheek young man.
Underneath is Paul McGuire before he was a television star.
They say in this book. Here's a throw and a catch to Andre Reed. He's out to the 39-yard line. A 12-yard gain on the play. Kerry Glenn makes the play.
12-yard gain.
Andre Reed, he is so dangerous every time he touches the ball. He's one of these guys that make the crowd stand up. He runs a little in pattern, breaks it back outside. Keep working, trying to get open. Catch the ball, and you got to get on him in a hurry because he is such an excellent runner after he catches the ball. I said earlier that that's what the Jets wanted to do. They wanted to come in and contain him. Don't let him run.
Frank Reichamad with some very nice passing numbers.
15 attempts, 10 completions, 114 yards. 1 touchdown, and the big one, no interceptions.
Thomas runs on first down, and Thurman Thomas isn't done till he gets out to the 48-yard line. A gain of 8 yards on the play. Eric McMillan, the free safety, made the stop for the Jets.
9-yard gain, 2nd and 1.
One of the former Bills that they featured in that book, as we'll watch Thurman Thomas again.
Thurman Thomas now, he's a little fella. Watch what happens when he runs into the number 94, Scott Mercereau. He just runs right over the top of him and keeps going. That's what happens sometimes. You catch those defensive linemen coming off a block and they're a little bit off balance, and they try to catch a running back, and they just accelerate. He accelerated right over Mercereau.
That brings up 2nd and short. Bills lead 20-3 early in the 4th quarter. Timing throw, going for the ball is Cliff Johnson, and it's tipped away. Nicely done by Bobby Humphrey of the Jets. One of the fastest Jets, running stride for stride with the fastest Bill. Talking about that book featuring the Bills over the years, Cookie Gilchrist, who was a tremendous fullback here in the early days. Of course, watch this play again.
Good coverage by Humphrey. He's stride for stride with Flipper Anderson, who's one of the fastest players on the team. Flipper Anderson plays for, they got a lot of flippers in the league now.
Yeah, they do. Willie Flipper Anderson of the Rams.
That's right.
He's the guy caught that ball Monday night against the Bills. And
say, when I was playing, the only flipper was a whale or something on a TV show.
That's it.
A dolphin, sorry.
Some kind of a mammal. Here is a carry on 3rd and short, and it looks like they might have gotten there. Fraze makes the tackle, but Thurman Thomas got the needed yardage. Harkening back to Cookie Gilchrist, Ahmad. I'm sure you heard him. He made a lot of bad business decisions over the years. He bought a gold mine in Canada, went up there to claim his stake, and he found that the land was below a deep lake. And one time the Bills were playing a playoff game. He had 5,000 pairs of earmuffs, special Buffalo Bills earmuffs made up in Canada. Day of the game, he's going to make a killing. He got to the Peace Bridge, which is one of the transit points between the U.S. and Canada here. And they informed me he had the wrong papers. He couldn't bring the merchandise across. So the game came and went, and Cookie had warm ears for the rest of his life. First down throw by Reich. No, first down run by Reich. And he's out of bounds inside the 45-yard line down to the 41.
Kyle Clifton running him down. And Frank Reich had 4 carries for 34 yards and very, very intelligent carries. Right here, he can't find anybody. The thing that you don't want the quarterback to do is throw the ball away. Frank Reich can't find anybody open, so he just takes off running. Watch Kyle Clifton, though. He stays right with him, shows some of his speed, or maybe Reich's lack of speed by running him out of bounds.
Really a blessing in disguise, Ahmad, the injury to Kelly, because they had no proven backup here, and every starting quarterback goes down for a while sooner or later. Right, looking real good. Now he sees something in the defense he doesn't like. On 2nd and short, and he calls a timeout.
I think the best thing that he's done is played inside.
Buffalo, number 1.
Is played within himself. He has not tried to do the things that Jim Kelly does. He goes out there and knows, I know what I can do, and that's exactly what he's done.
It's 20-3 Buffalo. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. Mark Malone, one of the Jet backups on the left. Pat Ryan looking to come off the injury list soon. He has a knee problem and is getting better. Right now, Reich is at work for the Bills. Ready to throw deep. He got the long ball. Andre Reed is out there, and it's off his fingertips 5 yards deep in the end zone.
Right pass intended for Andre Reed.
Almost the quick strike.
Andre Reed was certainly wide open on that. It looked like he lost his footing. right at the end of that play. This is just a post pattern. Andre Reed just taking off. Now, when he breaks to the post, now he starts going full speed. The ball should be up in the air. Andre Reed looks for it, tries to get a beat on it. It's just a little bit too far.
He came out in the 4th round. 4th round draft choice 5 years ago. That was the same year that players like Jerry Rice, Al Toon, Eddie Brown of the Bengals all came out in the 1st round as wide receivers. After the 1st round, Thurman Thomas on 3rd and short. Again, weaves his way very close to where he had to go. He might be just short. Troy Benson filled and knocked him down.
The players in this league know just how good Andre Reed is. He just has not gotten the overall national publicity, but he's in that same class with Jerry Rice and those other boys.
Steve Berline just hit Willie Gault with a touchdown throw. The Raiders are on the board, trailing at Philadelphia 10-7. Second game today on NBC Sports on most of these stations. The 49ers and the Patriots from Stanford Stadium. Townsend is back now. The Bills with a 20-3 lead, needing less than a yard on 4th down. Late percentages, and they'll kick the ball. Angled kick downfield by Kidd. It rolls down close to and into the end zone for a touchback.
42-yard punt.
So a 41-yard punt, but comes out to net 21 after the 20 yards comes off, and the Jets have it when we come back. Strong back in the Bills, defending AFC Eastern champions. They lead the Jets 20-3 in the 4th quarter. Throw to Freeman McNeil as he puts on a move and moves it out to the 30-yard line. Free ball. Bills have it. Leonard Smith will see if the play goes. Official indicates that it does, and so on a sunny day it continues to pour on the Jets.
When it rains, it pours. They just can't do anything right. O'Brien with a nice shot over the middle to Freeman McNeil. Freeman throwing up a bunch of moves, and just as he goes down, Scott Radicic just rips the ball out of his hand. Leonard Smith scoops it up and takes off going the other way. This offense just can't do anything right. And Joe Walton losing his temper a little bit, and rightly so.
We have a new all-time sack leader in career sack.
With the defeat last week, you look at, there's Leonard Smith.
Leonard Smith with one of those new age haircuts.
First down.
He was the guy that had that feather in his hat in practice yesterday.
Yeah, I noticed that. I asked somebody why he does that, and they said because he wants to. And I moved on down the line.
I guess there were some pigeons or something at training camp, some kind of birds, and one day he put one of the feathers he found in his hat.
Now he does it every Saturday?
Part of his thing now.
They should give him a feather now for picking up that fumble.
That was a big play. Marker goes down, as does Thurman Thomas, trying to dip to the left side. Hit by Troy Benson, number 54 of the Jets, but a marker down, stopping the clock with 10:26 to play. A legal motion is signaled against the Buffalo Bills. Bills haven't had a championship team since they won consecutive American Football League titles in '64 and '65.
Illegal motion, 88 offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Then they didn't go to the playoffs. You were here, I guess, what, 74?
74 went right to the playoffs in a hurry. Boy, we were a great team until we got to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh showed us what a real great team was by beating us and then beating everybody else. I guess we were responsible for them winning all those Super Bowls in the 70s.
And it was after they went out to win their first Super Bowl.
We got them on the right path.
Reich on first down. Up the middle he goes to Metzler. The big tight end is a running down to the 10-yard line. Very close to a first down. On a 1st and 15 play, he got about 14 yards. Eric McMillan, the free safety, stopping a touchdown.
Pete Metzler is coming across the middle. Now, George Radachowski, he should have Metzler. He's chasing him there behind, but now when Metzler stops, Radachowski just slides right by.
He went right off the screen, did George.
That's right. Nice move.
So the Bills now have it 2nd down, and where the ball is spotted, it'll be 3 yards to go for the first down. Andre Reed is at the lower right of your screen.
You think they'll give it to Kennebrew?
Well, I think they tried, and Wright missed him and then went down himself. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Yeah, they were looking at Kennebrew, but he was into the gap before he had the ball.
That's speed for 270 pounds. Had he had the ball, he was into the secondary. Nobody was even there trying to tackle him. Once again, Wright turning around, trying to hand it off to Larry Kennebrew. Can't reach him, and now he slides down. He finally learned that slide.
Frank Reich, quarterback, one of the most dramatic comebacks in college football history. He played for Maryland. They were down in Miami of Florida, 31-0 in 1984. He came in the second half, directed 6 straight scoring drives, and they won 42-40. Throw and a catch. Ronnie Harmon with a one-hand play in the end zone. A 13-yard touchdown play, and with 8:42 to play in the 4th quarter, the Bills now lead it 26-3. What's interesting in that, Reich was almost cut in the preseason. If Gelbaugh didn't have such a bad game in a preseason game in Atlanta, he was going to make the team as the backup to Kelly.
Reich fires his ball. And, you know, this happens a lot of times. You just throw a hand up there hoping that you can flag it or something. The ball just sticks to your hand. That's happened to me quite a few times in practice.
Well, you wear those sticky gloves you had on, like fish hooks. Extra point is spun up and good by John Kidd, and the Bills extend their lead to 27-3. So they're up and cheering in Buffalo as the Bills shout song is on the loudspeaker, and the big numbers are up on the board for the Bills. His neck, and so to keep him from ducking his head and getting a neck injury, they have his helmet fastened to his shoulder pads right through his jersey. It looks like somebody carried one of his kids in after the game.
So he can't bend his head down?
Yeah, so he can't bend his head forward.
How's he tie his shoes?
And he can also do a trick here. He can flip his head forward. He might do it for us, and the thing pops right on his head like some vaudevillian. Bills ready to kick it off. Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsell ready to kick off.
That was a second Jet turnover, both of them leading the Bills touchdowns and 14 points.
All well hit. Townsell is counseled not to bring it out, so the Jets will get it at their 20, 1st down and 10. It's a double-header day on NBC Sports. The second game, the Patriots go against Joe Montana and the Super Bowl champion 49ers at Stanford Stadium. A homecoming of sorts for NBC broadcaster Bill Walsh, who coached the Stanford Cardinal for 2 years, 77 and 78, and also coached a Super Bowl winner at Stanford Stadium when the 49ers beat the Miami Dolphins 38-16 in Super Bowl 19. O'Brien on 1st down swings it out. Sometimes it doesn't work, does it, Amau? You stick your hand out and hope something sticks.
No, was that you that talked about vaudeville?
Numbers, Cincinnati, all the Bengals points on field goals today by Jim Breach. Green Bay, a great rallier this season, is back to within 7 at Miami. Steelers have been out of it since the 1st quarter. Detroit's on the board. Too little, too late in all probability. Kansas City en route to its 3rd win. Dallas en route to its 7th loss, and the #1 pick for a 2nd straight year in the draft, unless things change. Bryan, the wrong side of Freeman McNeil, and he cannot make the play. Stopping the clock with 8 minutes and 27 seconds to play in the game, and the Bills in the lead 27-3.
If there was a category called drops, the Jets today would have filled that category up, because there are a lot of catchable balls that just hit the ground, and Joe Walton's probably saying the same thing. If you can't, you got to catch those balls. They can't come out there and hand the ball to you. If it's anywhere around you, you got to catch it.
There have been a lot of drops. O'Brien now calling the snap count by raising and lowering his right foot. And Darryl Talley goes boom. Very big, fast linebacker from West Virginia. Darryl Talley came unimpeded and got a clean shot on O'Brien. 5th sack of O'Brien today.
This blitz right here, nobody's tackling or blocking Darryl Talley, and he gets a clean shot on O'Brien. And got to give him something just to get up. Bruce Smith, just a little bit. I think he might have got the wind knocked out of him, because he certainly doesn't look like he's in any pain.
He's inflicted some, though.
He certainly has done that. He says the reason that he is doing so well is that Darryl Talley's back there with him. They got to worry about him a lot too. They're a tandem.
Talley at the right outside backer. Smith at right end. Prokop in the end zone, ready to punt again for the Jets. Man, that didn't go far. Inside the 30-yard line of the Jets, it's down, and the Bills' offense comes back out. Leonard Smith put the heat on Joe Prokop.
Leonard Smith coming off the field with his hands raised, and the crowd reacting. This was almost blocked. It almost looked like he got a hand on it because where the ball left Prokop's foot. Leonard Smith having a big day here today.
Italian sausage with pepper and onions served on a sesame seed roll.
Larry Pollock, our statistician, totaling the numbers, and they're very impressive for Reich. 12 of 19 for 138 yards.
And no interceptions. That's the big one. That's what you want. You get a backup quarterback in there. You don't want him to give the ball away.
And he's thrown for 2 touchdowns. Turning wide to the right side is Kenneth Davis, a former Green Bay Packer. He led them in rushing a couple of years. Came here as a Plan B free agent in the offseason.
Kenneth Davis showing those fresh legs. Boy, he was out around that end in no time. A lot of speed on Kenneth Davis.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, of the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, and all rights are reserved. And again, as we come out, the Jets relinquish their rights.
I'm sure they don't want to see these films.
Mueller's now in the game. Jamie Mueller, third-year fullback, gets down to the 10-yard line. 80,303, the ticket count today.
A 6-yard gain.
A disappointing thing for a team is when you see the guys on the bench all of a sudden playing in the backfield. I mean, you know it's pretty much all over at that point.
Now we got James Lofton in the game and Don Beebe, their third-round draft choice, which was the first pick of the Bills in this draft. They didn't have a 1 and 2 as part of the Cornelius Bennett trade.
James Lofton told me his biggest adjustment was wearing a warm-up on the sideline because he's not getting a lot of playing time. At one point, he was one of the top receivers in the league.
Kenneth Davis, you talk about those fresh legs. How true. He's down to the 10-yard line. Eric McMillan on the tackle. Game clock down to 6:55 and running. Bills in command 27-3.
Talking to Teddy Marchibroda, he said that one of the reasons that Lofton is not playing anymore is that their offense is going so well right now, they don't want to make any changes. There's Kenneth Davis. You see those fresh legs, and Eric McMillan comes up and puts a nice pop on him. The thing about football, no matter how much time left on the clock, you still got to go 100 miles an hour.
This Davis has really been looking to play. He's kicking it into high gear every time he gets his hands on it.
When you get an opportunity, you got to go for it. That's the only way people are going to get a chance to look at you. Can't make the team in practice.
Kenneth Davis gets another look at it. He's about the same size as Thurman Thomas, 5'10", 200. Lagaman, 56 on the stop for the Jets.
Speaking of Jets, does Davis have those same Jets, though, that Thurman Thomas has?
I don't think so. He's not bad, though. He was a second-round draft choice also, and he came out of TCU.
The Horning Frogs.
That's it.
I'm going to get them and them fighting Ducks together on a Saturday.
Norm Van Brocklin told me once he was scouting a TCU-Arkansas game, and the guy selling the program said, got to have one of these to tell the Hogs from the Frogs. We're now moving into our B material at this point in the game.
I laughed, though. I gave you a courtesy.
Throw and a catch. Touchdown, Bills. Kenneth Davis, as Reich has hit his third touchdown throw of the day.
Reich to Kenneth Davis for the touchdown.
Reich looking over the middle. Davis just all alone over the middle. Easy. That's like pitch and catch, I think they call that.
Yes.
Just pitch and catch.
Uncovered.
Davis making good of his opportunity to play.
It was right.
And Reich, 13 completions, 20 attempts, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they still call the name of his boot shop Jim and Chuck's.
Boomer and Frank have 13 boot shops called Jim and Chuck's. You figure it out. The numbers aren't hard to figure out. 34-3.
And there's
Bills
Reich.
in the lead. They're sending the faithful here in Buffalo home early and happy.
I don't think they ever leave here. They go out to the parking lot for a while and continue to party. Yeah, they're partying here in Buffalo.
They got that Buffalo Bills version of Shout.
It's infectious.
It really is.
Got me up off my chair in here. Mark Malone looking like he's getting ready to get a little playing time.
Got to change pitchers pretty soon.
Yeah, they call Mark the 4M man, the much maligned Mark Malone. And the reason he had a tough time. He came into Pittsburgh after Terry Bradshaw. And Terry Bradshaw's in the Hall of Fame. He had a tough act to follow. Talking to Zeke Bratkowski, he said this guy's a very intelligent quarterback and really much maligned.
Oh, he's got real ability. They say you saw him warm up next to Bradshaw. He looks as good or better when they're both with the Steelers. Exact same size. He has one problem is accuracy. He's not been an accurate passer and has not thrown for high percentages. So his career number under 51%.
And he has quite a few interceptions. You can't throw interceptions.
Gets working hard. Philip Epps, a new acquisition, a former Green Bay Packer who came in this week, runs back the kickoff, and Dwight Drain makes the tackle.
This Jet offense is hustling onto the field. They've still got some fire in them, but they got to do some things right.
It's the Patriots and the 49ers as the second half of our NBC Sports doubleheader coming up from Stanford Stadium next. Right now, we have 5 minutes and 11 seconds left to play here in Buffalo, Orchard Park, New York. Time of possession is almost hard to believe.
Jets 15-09 and the Bills 39-29.
Here is Freeman McNeil, who had his best career day rushing 193 yards a few years ago against the Bills, darting ahead for a first down.
There have been some great comebacks in the National Football League, but 5 minutes left to go. I don't know if this is going to be one. I think the Jets just want to do some things positively. They need to come out of this game feeling like, I guess they need a roll or something. I don't know what they need some points.
They need a lot of things. Number one, it all starts with offense.
Yeah, they need stuff is what they need. Lots of stuff.
They're having a hard time getting it fixed. The Jets.
You notice that this week that last week there was a lot of talk of people around and just saying we're a better 1-5 team than it shows. We haven't heard a lot of that. And like I keep saying, I think it's the injuries. I really think that their whole offense has been gutted by the loss of Tune and Walker and Schuler.
Two tremendous players, Tune and Walker.
And Schuler's not playing up this time. I mean, he's all beat up.
Cornelius Bennett, the free ball. Look at the play is live. One official ran it down. Now another saying he was down. Cornelius Bennett with a violent hit. Talk about a force weapon.
Cornelius Bennett is just driving Hector into the ground.
I tell you, that looked pretty live from here. The ball never touched the ground.
Referee time, set the clock to 30 seconds. Thank you.
Guess they ruled he was still in possession when he's down.
One more time. Cornelius Bill here on the tackle, driving Johnny Hector to the ground. I looked at that ball came loose and never hit the ground, like you said.
3rd down and 7. Good play to Chris Burkett. First down, Jets out to midfield. Cornelius Bennett grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. There used to be a touch league that his older brother would play in, that after about 2 minutes of play would turn into a tackle league with no equipment. They wouldn't let him play because he was too young. When he's about 12, they finally let him, and he started knocking guys out and flattening people.
Boy, my neighborhood.
They still wouldn't let him play.
I never heard of
because of that.
Football.
You never heard of touch football?
No, touch. You never heard of, they don't play touch football.
Bills are signaling it's against the Jets.
Tripping penalty.
For a while, this one was close. The Jets were battling defensively in the first half.
Criswell and everybody has a tough time with Bruce Smith. On the right-hand side of your screen, coming here right now, you see that little bit of leg whip going on there. Just tries to trip the guy down. But in defense of Criswell, no one can stop Bruce Smith. When he's right,
nobody stopped him today. Criswell has the makings of a very good player as a free agent. He's playing with an injury. Comes from Graceland College. That is a fumble. Mark Pike comes up with the ball. Freeman McNeil lost it. Number 94, Mark Pike. Third-year player from Georgia Tech.
Today's attendance, 76,811.
well, you get McNeil in there Mark Malone in there that hasn't played a lot, and these running backs have not taken handoffs from him. And you're going to get a little bit of discombobulation going on, and it results in a fumble.
Where's our man Kyle Mackey when we need him? Now Stan Gelbaugh is in. He's the backup. Activated when Kelly got hurt to back up Reich. Also a University of Maryland product is Stan Gelbaugh. Kenneth Davis running hard. Gets it down to the 35-yard line where he's knocked down by Alex Gordon and Troy Benson.
Gelbaugh is the backup to the backup.
Yeah.
That's what this game has gotten down to. 34-3. They bring the backup to the backup in.
Stan Gelbaugh. He's had some impressive performances. There's Jim Kelly.
Jim.
He doesn't want to watch anymore. It's that bad for the Jets.
There's a good shot of Jim Kelly. I don't know what he's doing.
Like Jim might be starting to lose it there. You okay? Is he all right?
I got a feeling his ears are cold.
Okay, I thought he might. He get dinged a few times. And here's a running play inside the 35-yard line, down to the 33. And mercifully, the game winds down to the 2-minute warning as a couple of guys start up after the play.
It's always funny when you see these fights and you see a little referee push two 290-pounders apart. Yeah, that's a real fight.
In times of battle, you know, big thing is you never get in a fight with anybody with a number over 19, right?
That's exactly right.
Kickers and quarterbacks.
Any number over 7, I never got in a fight with anybody.
Ken O'Brien, hands on knees, can do nothing to help now as the Jets are out of it long ago. 6 for the Buffalo Bills, who own the game 34-3. Kenneth Davis running it down to the 20-yard line. 13-yard gain. James Hasty on the tackle.
We don't even have to say anything to know how Joe Walton is feeling at this time. But in a football game, he just yelled out to his guys, play tough. And that's all that they can do. This is just, I mean, in a blowout like this, I don't, you know, you need a lot of fixing.
Yes, you do. As the Bills break the huddle once more, hopefully to run the ball. This is over long ago. And it gets worse for the Jets. They have to go home and play the San Francisco 49ers next Sunday.
I don't think it matters who they play. They could be playing the boys club and they'd have to get ready to play hard. They can't pick an opponent at this point.
The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NBC's football and the director of today's game is Ted Nathanson. Today's game was produced by Terry Ewert. NFL Live produced by David Neal. NFL Live directed by Bucky Guntz. NFL Live news producer Ricky Diamond. Technical directors Sal Nagita and Richard Sansevier. 39 seconds and counting. Herbie Criswell, a long afternoon across from Bruce Smith.
And just to make you feel a little better, Criswell, anybody that plays in front of him gets a long afternoon.
Yeah, I know. There are no days at the beach when old Bruce lines up. The Bills mercifully will down the ball, and that will do it. As the countdown to the Bills' 5th win of this season continues. They go 5-2 and stay a game up on the Indianapolis Colts, who came back to win today at Cincinnati, and a game up on Miami. The Dolphins still involved in their game, but they're leading. And an impressive win for Coach Marv Levy and his Buffalo Bills. 34